Fort Bridger was established in 1843 to service immigrant traffic by Jim Bridger and his partner Louis Vasquez. For the next century, this area known as the Bridger Valley served as a crossroads for the Oregon and California Trail, the Mormon Trail, the Pony Express route, the Transcontinental Railroad, and the Lincoln Highway. Inside the valley reside a couple of towns by the name of Mountain View and Lyman, with just 6 miles of two-lane road separating these settlements. Also dotting the map along the Bridger Valley Trail are Yeri, Robertson, Fort Bridger, and Milburn. Together, these communities form a strong co-op with lifelong friendships and bonds that span across the entire valley. But tonight, we'll have to put all that on hold.
The battle for Bridger Valley is live on MyLocalRadio.com. No matter where you reside in the valley, it's time to pick a side, Mountain View or Lyman. One of the great rivalries in Wyoming is back for another edition, only on your home for Bridger Valley Sports. Today's broadcast is brought to you by West Star Printing, Rocky Mountain Sign, Trona Valley Community Federal Credit Union, Blacks Fork Dental, Evanston Regional Hospital, The Store, Plains Tire, Wyoming Dental Specialties, The Come On In of Casper, and Auto Farm Chevrolet. With tip-off to Rivalry Friday night coming up fast, let's head to My Local Radio's broadcasting booth to join Jake Hibbard for the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show.
"13 days ago, Mountain View and Lyman met for the first time and set up the path which we are on for tonight. On the girls' side, the magic number is 1. 1 win tonight, and it must be tonight. And the Eagles are your number 1 seed at next week's regionals. Lose, and Mountain View will be the likely number 1. On the boys' side, Mountain View is looking to close up shop on the top spot in the Southwest. And Lyman is searching for any answers on how to stop a 5-game slide. One more weekend to decide playoff fate. Jake Hibbard with you on Rivalry Thursday night. Mountain View and Lyman next.
Hi, this is Chase Sawyer with Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction. In addition to our cleanup and restoration services, we also offer new construction and remodeling. We can help with a newer kitchen, bathroom, a garage, deck, or a new addition to your home. We provide accurate, itemized estimates with no hidden fees or extra charges, and we complete each job to 100% of your satisfaction. Call us today at 307-741-7000. Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction.
Welcome into the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show. Jake Hibbard with you as we welcome you to Lyman for a final weekend of competition here. It's the Bridger Valley Battle. Mountain View this time being hosted by Lyman just 13 days after hosting the front end of this rivalry. Pregame show again brought to you by Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction. Call 741-7000 or visit WyoDisasterCleanup.com. Water damage, mold damage, fire damage, and more. Sawyer's is there for you. Well, this is the season essentially as we look at the regional tournament seeding for next week. Mountain View and Lyman have one more game tonight that is likely going to be the decider for the conference regional tournament. Lyman wins and they're number 1. That's all there is to say about it. However, if Mountain View wins, they are put squarely into the driver's seat. It's not just like the opportunity is opened up. No, they will be the likely number 1 seed. So whoever wins is probably number 1 at next week's regionals right here at Lyman High School. That's because Mountain View holds a tiebreaker after defeating Star Valley in Afton back in the preseason. This is January we're talking about. Meanwhile, Lyman lost to Star Valley, also in Afton. So as we go 5 tiebreakers deep, that 5th one is preseason opponents at common sites. That's what the criteria is, and that's what we meet right here with Star Valley and with Mountain View and Lyman. The other one you could have had if there had been a tiebreaker either way was Evanston, but that would have had to go down to the 6th one. Both Mountain View and Evanston lost to Mountain View and Lyman both lost to Evanston as well, but that was on different sites, and that would have been the 6th and final tiebreaker before a coin flip. But Star Valley, that game of Lyman losing in Afton and Mountain View winning in Afton, is the decider. And yeah, the tiebreakers go that deep. I was looking at it this week. So if Mountain View wins tonight, they either need a win over Big Piney or a Lyman loss to Pinedale, and they're the top seed. If they lose that game to Big Piney, which they are favored to win tomorrow, Big Piney without a conference win, that would then put Lyman back in as the number 1 because Mountain View would have 2 conference losses in this scenario, and Lyman, presuming that they defeated Pinedale, would have just 1. However, if Mountain View loses to Big Piney and Lyman loses to Pinedale, then Mountain View is again that number 1 spot. So really, win tonight and you're probably in. If you're Mountain View, you're probably in because you've got the weaker opponent tomorrow. If you're Lyman, you win tonight, you're in because you're in. That's all there is to it. You can only finish with 1 conference loss. The difference in seeding this year, however, for round 1 is probably bigger to be a top 2 seed than it really is to be a 1 or a 2. There's a big gap between the bottom 2 seeds, Powell and Lovell, than there is between Worland and Lander. You want to be a top 2 seed and avoid having to play round 1 Worland or Lander. Save that for a semifinal game because, as you see, Powell and Lovell have a combined just 6 wins and 30 losses on the season. Lander's the likely number 2 seed, and that's a team that beat both Mountain View and Lyman. And they really had fits with them a few weeks back. Meanwhile, Mountain View's beaten Worland, albeit in an early January matchup and in a close contest that Mountain View and Worland would both say that was not their best game. However, just to throw in some more confusion, so Lander got Lyman, Lander got Mountain View right. Well, one of those 3 wins on the season for Lovell and the only conference win for them came against Lander, and that was last week. That's a head-scratcher to say the least, but hey, it's regional basketball, and we're getting down to the final bits of it before the conference season comes to a close and we have tournament next week. So what happened last time between these 2 teams? At times this season, Mountain View's gone cold shooting, and that was a bit of the case 13 days ago when they played each other. Mountain View shot 33% from the field, and at the floor, Lyman shot 43%. Got to credit Lyman as being a top defensive team, though, so give them some kudos for stopping a powerful Mountain View offense. Lyman also forced 18 turnovers. As you can see, that is far above Mountain View's average on the season of just 13.8 turnovers per game. That was their 4th highest turnover output of the season. Lyman, after starting 2-7, has gone 9-3 since, but Mountain View's been more steady throughout the season and comes in winners of their last 6 of 8. So that's the difference with the record between the 2. Lyman at 11-10 overall, Mountain View at 13-6 overall. But throw that all out. Conference record's all that matters. Lyman at 4-0, Mountain View at 3-1. And to confuse it more, Mountain View with the tiebreaker over Lyman. So a win tonight, Mountain View's probably your number 1. A win tonight for Lyman, and Lyman is your number 1. Points allowed between these 2 teams on the season, pretty even, but Mountain View scores almost 4 points per game more on average. But part of that could be credited to a slow start by Lyman. Those stats have been rising as the season goes on. True shooting percentage, Mountain View has a big edge, both in field and true shooting percentage of about 6 to 7 points. Rebounding, pretty even teams. Mountain View's out-rebounded more teams than Lyman has this year, but do not count out the rebounding duo down low of Mandy Air and Hadley Gross against Bailey Henster, we'll presume, who is coming off the bench tonight but plays a lot of those post minutes. That puts Sadie Mitchell against probably Hadley Gross to start at the post. That's our first look, brought to you by Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness. Bradshaw's is there for whatever it is you need. 24-hour towing, 24-hour fitness, and storage, as well as home and auto glass repair. Whatever it is you need, Bradshaw's can probably help. 787-3450, the number to call. Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness. We will continue the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show next. This is the First Bank presentation of Lyman and Mountain View basketball on mylocalradio.com and on the radio at KNYN 99.1 FM.
Whatever you need, it's likely that Bradshaw's and Lyman can help. Whether it's windows at home or new glass in your car, truck, SUV, or semi, Bradshaw's has it. Tires? Yes. All vehicles, ATVs, semis, and more. Bradshaw's offers a 24-hour towing service for everything large to small. And the Bradshaw Fitness Center is open 24/7. There's more, so always call Bradshaw's first. Whatever you need, it's likely they can help. 307-787-3450. Again, that's 307-787-3450.
Back here at the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show, where we are in Lyman, Wyoming for matchup number 2 between Mountain View and Lyman. Girls first scheduled to tip off in about 10 minutes from now, so it looks like we're right about on schedule for a 5:30 start. The boys will continue at 7 p.m. We'll take a look at them. That'll also be brought to you by Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness if we have a little bit of time later in this pregame show. If not, then we will jump it over to the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show that happens in between the girls completing and the boys starting. Now let's take a break and then come back with the coaches in tonight's contest. Jason Hansen and Jess Moretti, head coaches for the Lyman Eagles and Mountain View Buffaloes, when we return on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on mylocalradio.com.
Hi, this is Chase Sawyer with Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction. Our company specializes in fire damage restoration, mold inspection, remediation and testing, flood cleanup, and biohazardous cleanup services. We complete each job to 100% of your satisfaction. Safety is our highest priority, and once we've completed your job, we ensure your home or business will again be a safe place to occupy. Call me, Chase, at 307-741-7000. Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Whatever you need, it's likely that Bradshaw's and Lyman can help. Whether it's windows at home or new glass in your car, truck, SUV, or semi, Bradshaw's has it. Tires? Yes. All vehicles, ATVs, semis, and more. Bradshaw's offers a 24-hour towing service for everything large to small. And the Bradshaw Fitness Center is open 24/7. There's more, so always call Bradshaw's first. Whatever you need, it's likely they can help. 307-787-3450. Again, that's 307-787-3450.
We hope you're enjoying this mylocalradio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness. Whatever it is you need, Bradshaw's can probably help. The Come On In of Casper. When it comes time to cheer on your Buffs or Eagles at state, the Come On In is your best bet for a great night's stay. Auto Farm Chevrolet in Evanston. General Manager Dennis Lynch invites you to come and experience a community-driven dealership. Evanston Regional Hospital. Quality health care close to home. Bridger Valley Motor. Got a check engine light blinking? Don't guess at what the problem is. Take it to Slim at Bridger Valley Motor in Lyman. And Achieve Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy. No excuses, just results. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
Jess Moretti with me, the rivalry night once again. This matchup has quite a bit of meaning for conference standings As I understand it, you hold a tiebreaker going down to the 5th tiebreaker of a common opponent at a common site, being Star Valley. So if you can come away with a win tonight, you have the inside track for the top seed. What's that mean for your team, and, what's just getting a win tonight, weighing those two?
We talked about it, and for us, we feel like down the stretch, all these games are must-wins for us. No matter what's at stake. But yeah, it does, It puts a little bit more weight on it for sure. We're coming into the game tonight that, thinking that it's a must-win. Will it be the end of the world if it doesn't go our way? No. But yeah, we want to come away with a win and go into regionals, the number 1 seed. That'd be awesome to do that again this year.
Worland's a team that you've beaten. Lander is a team that you've lost to, and then Lander just dropped one to Lovell. So it's kind of a funky opponent, that whether you got the 1 or the 2, whichever side you're on. Worland was a team that you beat, but it was not your best night, not their best night, and it was over a month ago. And then Lander, a team that the record doesn't compare to Worland necessarily, but they were able to kind of get the best of you.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Going into that, I think it's 6s, who you end up, seeing that second round. And so, I think there's a lot of, for both us and Lyman, going in as the 1-2 seed, that's a huge deal for us to do that. So whoever gets whatever team, whether it be Lander or Worland, you're right in saying that. It's either way, it's a tough draw that second round, and I think they feel the same way too. We're a team that's sitting right there, and we aren't going anywhere, and it'll be difficult for them as well.
You played Pinedale last week, and then you played Kemmer. How'd you feel about those 2 games that you got away with wins?
Oh, it felt good. We needed that. You always go through a little bit of a lull at some point in the season, and I felt like we did that, dropping those 2 games, and then coming back with that pretty controlled win against Kemmer, and the same against Pinedale. I felt like it was a very controlled game that we were able to just handle and deal well with, even though they've got one of their gals who's played in past years is back. She had been out with an injury the last year and a half or so with a couple different injuries, and she showed back up in that game. And so I was a little worried about her. Her last name's Hansen, and she's a great shooter outside and a big girl inside to defend. And so we didn't know what to expect from that because we haven't seen her in a little while. But they did a good job. But we controlled that, so it felt good. It was nice to be back.
I think the margin in this one was double digits. I think 12 points last time. That was not that long ago, just 2 weeks ago. And that was where we got to. That your 1 conference loss came to Lyman. What needs to happen a little differently for your team today?
We need to be more aggressive offensively, continue to attack gaps that they have in their zone. Like I said, we always talk about their zone. It's 3-2. It's very extended at the top. We can't be passive. We've got to make sure that we just put pressure on that and, try to draw some fouls and get ourselves to the line if we're not able to get into those gaps that that we've worked on all week long. And we got to run early. We can't feel like sometimes we rebound the basketball and then there's like this lull right there. Everybody's kind of waiting. I'm not sure what everyone's waiting for sometimes. We just need to run. We can't just sit in that half court and and if I've told the guards, if you're a guard, you need to go. All my guards can handle very well. And so it's just those little things like that you fine tune and you readjust. And sometimes high school girls basketball, you just need to be reminded, And so there were some of those reminders of things that, we do great when we remember to do them.
All right, Coach Moretti, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
We'll take a break and be right back with Coach Hansen. Actually, let's jump into it right now. We're about a minute and a half on clock time from the start of this game. So we will get him while the national anthem is playing. Coach Hansen for Lyman. Jason Hansen with me, and 10 days ago we were talking about all the 3 games happening in the final 7 days of the season. You got 1 win out of the way. You got Big Piney. It certainly wasn't an easy one throughout times. Now you've got 2 games on back-to-back days. The first one is Mountain View Lyman. Of course, that's going to be the tough game. You get it at home this time around. I don't know what that necessarily means in this rivalry, if anything, but what do you think going in, knowing that you probably need to win this one to wrap up a number 1 spot?
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough week for us. Probably 2 of the better teams on this side of the 3A West. And so, home court, I think has a little bit of help, but not much when it comes to Mountain View. They've played in our gym before a bunch of times. All those kids have, and just like the first time, it comes down to who's going to make the plays when the pressure's on. So.
Yeah, you were telling me, you were helping me out with some tiebreakers yesterday, and it goes, I think, 5 deep, but Mountain View would hold a tiebreaker, so you can really look at this game and say, hey, if you want to be the number one spot, don't look any farther beyond this game because this is most likely the decider.
Yeah, we talked about it in practice. I told the girls, I go, they've got the tiebreaker, so if we don't win, we're going to be 2. If we do win, there's a good chance we could be number 1, and so we just have to take care of this game. And really, the Pinedale game doesn't matter if we win this game on Thursday. So might be good to have just because it's senior night and girls are usually emotional during senior night and don't play their best. So.
Well, we were talking about it after that Big Piney victory, how far this team's come from being down in the dumps in the record, I think 2-8, to now sitting at 11-10, whatever exactly that number is. It's certainly been a upward trend for this team, and you had so many girls with so little varsity experience coming into the season. I'm sure you saw the potential there, but how has it become realized?
I think they've just kind of bought into, the system, and, We've become a pretty good defensive team, and I think as long as you can play defense, you're going to be in every game, and we have been in every game after Christmas break. I thought, where there's been a bunch of games like the Evanston game, and maybe the only game that was kind of out of reach was Wyoming Indian for us, and so we could very easily have won all our games after the Christmas break, but I think. We're playing well, and I'm excited to see what we do in regionals.
Well, Coach, as you get down to the final week of the regular season, you get set up for a regional tournament, which you host. I'm sure being that Coach AD, that's going to come with its own challenges, but you got to first think about the team and getting them ready to play.
Yeah, we, it's going to be a busy week for me, but I have good help around me, so I'm kind of focusing on basketball and what we need to do to try to do the best we can and hopefully go to state. So hopefully those kind of things happen for us, and we can be successful on our home court.
Coach, thank you.
Hey, thanks for having me, and thanks for covering us.
Well, we got both coaches fit in the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show, and it's time for some basketball. Starting lineups for Mountain View and Lyman. Mountain View, the road team this week. Black jerseys, white numerals, and getting their starters announced first. But, of course, both cheerleaders, both fan sections are all out here. Is it a home game for Lyman? Is it a home game for Mountain View? Well, you could have told me either one 2 weeks ago, and you would have believed it, and it's the same situation here tonight. Everyone is in the Bridger Valley, has all moved to Lyman for the night. Let's get the starting lineups first for the visiting the visiting Mountain View Buffs. Senior 5'7" point guard is Haley Stevens. We have 2 Bugis sisters, Emily and Casey, both sophomores, both 5'4". Casey wears number 3. Emily wears number 4. Kylie Dellinger will play a little bit of post, a little bit of wing, a little bit of troublemaker if Mountain View is doing what they want to defensively. She's in the top 10 in conference in steals per game. 5'7" junior wearing number 10. That's Kylie Dellinger. And at the post, Sadie Mitchell, 5'8" senior wearing number 5. They'll be playing a little bit more small as the Mountain View has as of late. Starting point guard, 5'7", starting post, 5'8". Pretty much positionless basketball for Mountain View. On the Lyman side, we have a 5'8" sophomore point guard wearing number 12, Bryce Hansen. Alongside her, Charles C. Rose, also 5'8" and also a sophomore, wears number 13. Mandiera, senior in the post. The senior wearing number 4 and 5'10". Sage Bradshaw is at the top of the conference in steals per game. She averages nearly 4 per contest, and she's a freshman, 5'5", wearing number 14. At the post, Hadley Gross, 5'8" senior, wears number 20. So height advantage, not really anything either side. Mandier, the tallest player out on the court there, but just a hair over Hadley Gross. So somewhere between 5'8" and 5'10" are the 2 players. Bailey Henstra off the bench, this only player listed at 6 feet or above. Haley Stevens and Bryce Hanson, the 2 point guards as usual, tip off, and it's won by Bryce Hanson. Mandy Air controls it. She'll give it to Sage Bradshaw. We talked about the freshman leading the conference in steals at 3.8 per contest. And she's at that left or right side of the 3-2 zone, which Lyman runs so well. It's a very extended 3-2. Doesn't really look like a 3-2, doesn't really look like anything, but it looks very effective, and that's been at the head when they switch defenses at Lyman's recuperation of the season. Emily Bugis gets an on-ball steal. Haley Stevens is on the run, has the ball knocked out from behind. Kylie Dellinger comes away with it. Big dishes back to Casey. Jump stop, throw to the left block. Haley Stevens hit by Gross. A foul, no, a travel called. First whistle of the game is a travel against Haley Stevens. Lyman basketball. And a little bit of full court pressure. Haley in the backcourt guarding Bryce Hanson. She'll dish it off to Sage to her left and then across the timeline to Charles C. Rose. Bradshaw at the jump circle. Moves around to her right, crosses over to her left. Looks for Rose on the near side. Lyman moving from left to right here in the first quarter. Second quarter will be brought to you by Reese Auto Service. Bryce Hanson has the basketball on the left wing. We've got the band warming up in the left, far left of me. You may hear some piano, I think that is being played in the background. Sage Bradshaw with the basketball, tosses up to the top of the key. Bryce Hanson drives in, defense collapses, tosses it up, doesn't graze rim. Rebounded by Casey Bugis on a partial rejection, partial steal. Bugis on the right wing, backs up with the 2 defenders going at her. Back to Emily, then to Casey. She'll loft it to the free throw line. Dellinger looks down low over the head of Sadie Mitchell. Deflected out of bounds by Bryce Hanson. Stays Mountain View's basketball. Mountain View moving from right to left, so it's under the baseline on their left side basket. Inbound to Stevens from Dellinger. She's fouled. And to the stripe. Mandy Air walking away after picking up the offense. First foul of the game comes at 6:26 left on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Appreciate all these Bridger Valley sponsors throughout the season. We're coming to a close here. We've got this week, and then we'll have next week at regionals and then state coverage as well, but then that's so long, so thanks so much for all these sponsors all year long, and we look forward to continuing Bridger Valley coverage. Maybe something in the spring, and then certainly when the fall comes back around. 1-0 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board after Haley Stevens goes 1 for 2 at the stripe. Lyman basketball. Rose drives in against the defense, and she draws a foul to the stripe herself, Charles C. Rose. Rose has gotten a lot of first buckets for Lyman this year, and she's toward the top of the scoring averages on the season, just a sophomore, but a fine basketball talent, averaging 7.5 points per game. At the free throw line, though, it's been half of one, half of another. She comes into the week as a 50% free throw shooter and misses her first to keep the score at 1-0. Mountain View on top in this rivalry Thursday night, and Rose goes 0 of 2 to start off the contest. The ball goes off the foot of Bugis, though, and out of bounds on the baseline. Bryce Hanson to inbound for Lyman. Stays Lyman basketball. They can set up in the half court. Hanson, the inbounder, tosses up to Air. She steps into a right wing 3 with the left hand. It's up too long. Gross comes away with the rebound. Tosses back to Sage Bradshaw. It's knocked out of her hands by Emily Bugis. And the ball stays with Lyman. We mentioned the quick hands of Kylie Dellinger and Sage Bradshaw. They're both in the top 10 in conference in steals, but don't count out the Mountain View sophomore Emily Bugis as well. She's earned her starting spotting. Yeah, she got it with injury and then kept onto it and actually started, I think, every single game this year. One of the players, one of the 3 or 4 players from Mountain View that started every game. I think just 3. Timeout taken by Lyman. It's their basketball when we come back in 30 seconds. 1-0 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View over Lyman on MyLocalRadio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM, presented by First Bank.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
Back here at Lyman High School, it is Lyman basketball, but they trail by 1 point. It's 1-0 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. to Mountain View. Bryce Hansen at the top of the key, crosses over against Bugus, drives in, 8-footer is rejected. Dellinger on the run the other way for Mountain View. 2 steps to the left-hand layup, no good. Bugus picks up the board, steps around the defense, and is hacked. And she's headed to the stripe. So far at the free throw line, Mountain View is 1 of 2, that by way of Haley Stevens. Charles C. Rose is 0 of 2 from the free throw line for Lyman. And now Casey Bugus steps up to the stripe. Madison Harris moves to the check-in table as Casey hits her first to make it 2-0. 3 players in all come in for Lyman, and now 1 in for Mountain View. Bailey Henstra makes her first appearance of the game. In for Emily Bugus. Nicole Peden, Caroline Bradshaw, and the aforementioned Madison Harris all in for Lyman. Casey Bugus sets up for the second free throw and drops it in. 2-2 trip for Casey. And the sophomore's given her team a 3-0 lead on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Lyman basketball still looking for their first bucket against Mountain View. Handoff to Peden. She looks down into the short corner. Harris steps in, finds Air unguarded. Up and in for Mandy Air. 3-2. And Lyman has finally scored. Score comes at 5:15 left in the first quarter on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Haley Stevens with the basketball at the top of the key for Mountain View. Hands off to Casey Bugus, who looks over to her right. Finds Sadie Mitchell playing a bit more out on the wing now with Bailey Henstra in at the post. Pass is deflected and picked up and taken away by Mandy Air. Lyman gets the lion's share of their steals in the passing lanes. Air with the basketball, working to her right, crosses over to the left against Dellinger. Looks out to Nicole Peden, out behind the three-point line on the left wing. Pop up to the top, Bryce Hansen takes the pass from Peden. Swings it around to right side. Mandy Air is 0 of 1 so far from beyond the arc from 3. And that's about it for field goal attempts. Bryce Hansen also 0 of 1 from the field. And Mandy, I think 0 of 1 from inside the 3 and 0 of 1 from outside the 3. So overall, she's 0 for 2. 2 fouls either way. Kylie Dellinger called for her first hack of the game. And the inbound to Peden. She turns around off the glass. No good. Knocked out of bounds. It stays with Lyman. Mountain View seems to be the last team touching every single one of those plays on the Lyman side. So all of their baseline shots have gone in so far. Bryce Hansen to Nicole Peden on the inbound. Looks to Caroline Bradshaw. Toss over to left side. Hansen up top. Caroline fires straight away from 3. A little bit long though. Rebounded by Madison Harris. Deep 3 faked by Bryce Hansen. She'll now work at the top of the key. Lyman basketball. They trail Mountain View 3-2 in the first quarter. Swing around to the right wing, then down into the blocks. Air has the defense collapse in on her. She tops it back up to the key. Madison Harris with the basketball. Looks out for a passing mate. Finds Bryce Hansen. Hansen over to the left wing and then to the corner. It's Nicole Peden. Caroline takes it at the top of the key. 4 minutes left. We're halfway through the first quarter and just one field goal between these two teams so far. 5 points combined. Spin around at the free throw line. Then to the blocks. Bryce Hansen walked with it. And a turnover for Lyman. That's their first turnover of the game. 2 turnovers so far for Mountain View. 1 steal by Kylie Dellinger and 1 steal. One for Mandy Air. She has 1 steal. Kylie Dellinger with a steal for Mountain View. And then the turnover, there's been a travel by Bryce Hansen and a travel by Haley Stevens. 3-2 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View basketball with the 1-point advantage. 3:35 left in the first quarter. Bugus has the basketball on the wing, crosses over to her left. Air comes out to defend her, toss over to the right side. Mitchell looks down low. Henstra can't handle the pass. It's out of bounds. Well, Kate, you're off the road. How's it going? You jumped up. You got your stats good to go?
We're good to go now. We're all caught up.
I was kind of trying to relay them to you as I saw you getting your spreadsheet up. I hope I did all right.
You did just great. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. So we've got rivalry night here. It's a Thursday this time. Kylie Dellinger with the inbound basketball to Henstra. She leans into a shot, misses it. Her own board is no good as well. Haley Stevens, another putback attempt out of bounds off of Lyman. 3 missed shots on that possession so far for Mountain View. 3-2 Mountain View lead, 3:18 left in the first quarter. Kylie Dellinger, the inbounder, clock's ticking away on that 5-second. Finds Stevens, but it's over her hand. Casey Bugus drives in baseline after picking up the near steal. Misses short on the shot. Henstra and Peden fighting for the board. Peden grabs it, spins around, tries to throw it back in, but could not hold on to it. It's out of bounds, last touch by Peden. So Mountain View continues this extended possession. Dellinger, no one to pass to, tosses up high, just finds Bugus. She's at the right wing, gets some steps, and shoots it from 3, misses long. Peden on the rebound, turns and runs with it. Has 2 offenders up to the left side, opts to go to Sage Bradshaw. Elbow jumper off the glass, no good. Sadie Mitchell on the rebound for Mountain View. Haley Stevens takes the pass from Mitchell into the free throw line, toss down low to Henstra. Turn around left-handed, Mike and hook shot is in. 5-2 Mountain View with the lead on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Emily Bugis, who started the game, will check in at the next dead ball for Mountain View. Nicole Peden drives in, baseline, beats Henstra, turns around as the defense collapses on her, finds Rose at the free throw line. Caroline, one dribble, then to sister Sage. She gets a screen from Harris, opens her up. High shot off the glass from the right side, a little bit short. Rebounded by Haley Stevens. Stevens from right to left, stutter steps off to the right. Double team on her, and a foul against Caroline Bradshaw. First foul against Caroline Bradshaw today. Lyman with their 3rd foul overall. We saw Caroline foul out, and I think it was probably about 12 minutes of play last week against Big Piney.
Yep.
On some plays like that, stabbing in, trying to get that steal, and sometimes it goes away, and you get the foul, and that's what happened to Caroline.
Credit to her. She is aggressive. She does play up, but sometimes she reaches a little too much, but that will come as being a freshman.
Sadie Mitchell in the air, out to the right side, long 2, dropped in by Emily Bugis. I was talking just before you got here about the steady play of Emily Bugis all year long. She's not top 10 in steals in the conference, but she's a great defender and can get a steal. Oh, add her onto the board with a steal as well. She had one for Mountain View in the first couple of plays. Hope Sinan in for Lyman, but she's just been a steady player offensively and defensively, playing within her own game and finding her role for Mountain View this season. Sage Bradshaw to Sinnott, then to Peden. Long wing 2 is off to the right. Rebound battle won by Rose. She's right under the hoop looking for an angle and fouled by Emily Bugis. Sends Charles C. Rose back to the free throw line. Rose is 0 of 2 so far from the stripe today.
I watched that and I'm like, I got to add that in, and I forgot that one.
7-2 the score on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. First free throw missed by Rose. So Lyman still looking for answers from the stripe. So Rose, the only player there, 0 for 3. Mountain View, conversely, Haley Stevens, 1 of 2. Casey Bugis, 2 of 2. And then a field goal by Emily Bugis and a field goal by Bailey Henstra. Second shot up, Rose, the 50% free throw shooter, still can't find her angle, but Bailey Henstra and Sadie Mitchell touch it out of bounds, so Lyman gets the ball back. There's been so many plays at the free throw line as well. Both of the misses by Rose have ended with the ball going out of bounds, last touch by Mountain View. I think that's the 4th or 5th time it's gone out of bounds on the baseline by Mountain View. So Lyman getting a lot of possessions right now, but not able to take advantage of them. Free throw line shot by Air. Banker's no good. Sinnott had the board, just grabs it back on the baseline. Coach Moretti calling out to her defense to stay disciplined, keeping with their system. We're down to the final 1:20 of the first period. 7-2 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View over Lyman at the moment. Lyman with the basketball. And they've had a ton of chances. Their shooting just hasn't been there so far. Sage Bradshaw stutters, nearly travels with it. 2 big steps going around the screen from Hansen. No good on the layup. Haley Stevens with the rebound. Has a player off to her left, takes it herself in the fast break, misses short on the jumper. And a foul headed Lyman's way. So a foul on Mountain View. Looked offensive there on Haley Stevens. That's the call indeed. 7-2 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. 50 seconds left. Mountain View up by 5. Lyman basketball moving from left to right. Mandy Air for the Eagles has it on the right wing. Hansen calling for it in the post. They go opposite side instead to Hadley Gross. She drives into the paint. Floater is in. Hadley Gross with the 2.
Nice shot by Hadley.
And she's seen her offense grow throughout the season. You remember the first weekend of the contest at the Bridger Valley Invite? She was missing the bucket by 5-6 feet.
I do vaguely remember that.
And now she's got the confidence to drive in and make her own shot like that happen. Haley Stevens takes it on the corner. 16 seconds left. Mountain View basketball. Gives it to Emily. She drives in, rejected by Hadley. However, a foul against Hope Sinnott from behind. You know, they got taco in a bag tonight. I think in between games I may have to send you out to the concession stand to get your own. It's a good dinner. I love the Lyman concession stand. We've talked about this throughout the year.
Oh, we have. They have great dinners. Why go to Pizza Hut? Why go anywhere else when you can go to the Lyman concession stand?
Pizza Hut, not a sponsor, so we can say that. But it really is good. They've got some potato soup.
Oh.
Not today.
Oh,
throughout,
not today.
of course.
Fine.
You know, the last time we came here and they had potato soup, we had no time. Emily Bugas at the free throw line, 13 ticks left in the first quarter. Misses her first free throw. Shot is up on the second. It rolls off the front and then off to the left. No good either. Lyman basketball. Hanson up ahead to Air, then to the corner. Charles C. Rose drives past Bugas. Finds Bradshaw. Short corner shot with 6 seconds left. Misses everything on it. Henstra has the board. Up ahead to Mitchell. 1 second. No seconds. Quarter ends. And it's 7-4 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. A low scorer on Rivalry Thursday night. Mountain View up by 3 on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on KNYN 99.1 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
When do you schedule doctor appointments?
In bed before I fall asleep. In the car waiting to pick up my kids.
We can even do it after breakfast.
We all lead busy lives. Online appointment scheduling puts you in control. In just 90 seconds, you can make an appointment with a primary care provider or specialist at evanstonanytime.com. Select the day and time most convenient for you. Enter some basic information, and just like that, you're scheduled for care. Schedule appointments for next day and beyond at evanstonanytime.com.
Reese Auto Service second period. It turns out, Kate, you were here earlier than I thought. You just couldn't get across. So you saw all of the possessions that Lyman had extra on those out of bounds, and it's incredible that there was just 4 points scored by them in that opening stanza.
It is incredible. I was waiting over there trying to get past, and every possession was being out on Mountain View, but Lyman just couldn't convert to get Mountain View to go the other way so I could walk across the gym.
It was just going on and on. Casey Bugas flies up into the air and is rejected by Hadley Gross. Lyman basketball after the opening possession of Mountain View yields no points. Bryce Hanson at the top of the key. Guarded by Haley Stevens. Both her and Hanson, I believe, have one foul in the game so far. Look down low. Gross out to the corner. Bradshaw drives right past Jada Kennison and drop it in. That's freshman on freshman crime there. And Sage Bradshaw steals the inbound. Layup no good, though. Bradshaw's out for blood in this rivalry night. Casey Bugas bounce pass to Henster. She bobbles it, turns around. Hook shot, no good. Rebounded by Bradshaw. So Sage with a steal and nearly 4 points in a row. She's trapped on the near sideline. Gross, the senior, comes out to help her out. Mandier has the basketball at the volleyball line. Walks it up to the top of the key, then looks out to Charles C. Rose. Down to the post. Bryce Hanson goes off the glass and still can't find it. Air misses on the putback, but fouled for 2 shots. And that's just an example of what's been happening to Lyman today. Opportunities, good shots have presented themselves. There's just a lid on the, there's just a seal on the lid.
A seal on the lid?
Yeah, I think so. Is that something like that? A seal on the bucket? There we go.
A lid on a bucket?
A lid on the bucket. One of the two. It's a double seal.
I think it's interesting to look at the difference between how Mountain View acted a couple of weeks ago when we were over there and the nerves that were flying there. It seems like it's kind of switched that now Lyman has the home court advantage and now they have a little bit of nerves. They can't get the bucket to fall. There's different things that are going on and it's just not working for them.
Air misses the second free throw but makes the first. So we are tied up 7-7 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. A 3-0 scoring route so far in the second quarter. A steal by Air. Caroline Bradshaw on the run. Backs up. Maybe he should have stopped and thrown it away a little bit. Maybe passed somewhere. But nonetheless, overshot it in his Mountain View basketball. Up ahead to Dellinger. She lets the defense go by but misses long. Bryce Hanson on the board for Lyman. Crosses over. Trap comes in. Throws up ahead to Mandier. She thinks about a shot on the wing. Takes it. Free throw line extended. Splash it in for a triple. Mandier with 5, now 6 points in the game. 10-7 Lyman with their first lead of the contest. 6 minutes left in the Reese Auto Service second period. Reese Auto Service there for any engine, large or small. Reese can fix it from a small lawnmower engine or a weed eater engine up to a big diesel. Lyman Mountain View basketball, 3 up and missed by Emily Bugas. Charles C. Rose on the rebound, tosses it up to Hanson. She's on the far sideline. To Gross. They have numbers. Stevens comes away with a steal, and Dillinger picks it up. It was 2-on-1, but Gross put the ball on the ground, and that allowed Haley to come away with the steal. She's fouled, rising up into the air, and Haley back to the free throw line for 2. Haley's 1 of 2 from the free throw stripe so far. Mountain View has not scored in the Reese Auto Service second period. Up for the shot. It's in. So we mentioned it in the pregame ad nauseum. Lyman wins tonight, they are number 1. Mountain View wins tonight, then they're one Big Piney win away from being number 1. I guess a win over Big Piney. Yeah. Big Piney wins, then they're in trouble. 10-8 after Stevens makes her first free throw. Second shot is a miss. Peden had the board. The ball just kind of was squirting around in the air out of her reach. Hope Sinnott comes away with it. Up ahead to Peden. She jump stops to the free throw line. Sinnott then to Bradshaw. 2 steps and a 13-foot floater. Misses off to the left. Ball out of bounds, and it was last touched by Sadie Mitchell. What else is new? Mountain View just getting the last touch on every single one of those. I don't think there's any favoritism with the refs. It's been Mountain View's hand every single time.
I don't even know what to tell you to do to not do that. It's just
they're playing aggressive. The ball's just squirting out at the last second off of their hands. It's one of those things you figure eventually would even itself out. Just so far hasn't. Sage Bradshaw to Madison Harris, then to Caroline on the left side. 5:05 left in the Reese Auto Service second period. Look out to the right corner. Sinnott to Bradshaw. Wing 3. No! It's too long and out. Haley Stevens with the rebound. Throws up ahead to Mitchell. She's got a step. Doesn't put the rock on the ground. Hit it too hard off the glass, though. Did not adjust her speed to the shot. Well, Sadie was wide open, and she took that one little step, and then when the free throw came in, you saw she hit it like she was jogging in because that ball went zooming off the backboard. Too much force put on that. Bradshaw tries to do it herself, going from coast to coast. That's Caroline. Misses the shot. Emily Bugas comes away with the rebound. Takes it across, gives it off to Casey. 4:34 left in the second period. Bugas open at the top of the key for 3. Not biting so far. 4:28 left, almost halfway through the second period. Brought to you by Reese Auto Service. Bugas on the left wing, that being Casey. Working against that 3-2 zone. Gets a screen, jump stop. 9-footer. Hits off the back of the iron, no good. Henstra with the putback. Drops. Last time out, it was a Lyman win by 12. Mountain View trying to repay the favor and take over the number 1 seed in the final week of regular season play. Peden drives in, past 2 defenders, misses on the layup though. Henstra on the rebound. We are halfway through. Under 4 minutes to play in the Reese Auto Service second period. Mountain View basketball, tie game 10-10. Bugas open on the corner for 3 to give Mountain View the lead. It's exactly what she does. First triple for Casey Bugas. 13-10 Mountain View over Lyman on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Hope Sinnott on the left wing. Looks back to Sage Bradshaw. 3:33 left. Bradshaw tosses over to the right corner. Harris looks down low, but Bailey Henstra uses her long arms to get the steal. Sadie Mitchell doesn't have a dribble. Calls for Stevens to come back. Passes it off to her, and Caroline will recede. Crossover. Stevens opened up. Stop and pop, but it doesn't fall in. Stevens on the putback shot goes. First field goal by Haley Stevens. 4 points in the game and a timeout taken by Coach Moretti. 15-10. The visiting Mountain View Buffs are on top of Lyman on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on KNYN 99.1 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
Second quarter action brought to you by Reese Auto Service. 15-10. Mountain View has held on to the lead for the most part. Lyman's taken a lead once in this game, but overall momentum and shooting really has been Mountain View's favor.
It has. You look at Haley Stevens, she really changed the momentum. It was starting to shift Lyman way. They gained the lead, and she drove in, got fouled, made one of her free throws, and she
tosses it to the middle of the court, a little ahead of things there. Haley Stevens comes away with the steal. Stevens basketball for Mountain View, moving from right to left. Spins around against Mandier. Floater off long. Caroline and Dellinger fighting for the board. Last touch by Kylie. Goes to Lyman. Sage Bradshaw checks in for Caroline. Bradshaw, the near side inbound behind the timeline to Bryce Hansen. Stevens has been shading in the backcourt, just making it not an easy trip across for Bryce all night long. Boys coming up after this. We tipped off right about on time, right about 5:30, so boys should be on schedule, barring any extra minutes in this game, at about 7 o'clock. Hadley Gross down in the blocks. Turns around and she goes to work in the post. That's 2 buckets now by Hadley. And neither one of them off rebounds, both off turning around and creating her own shot. Steal away. Hadley Gross comes away with the ball taken away, I think, by Sage. Deep 3 by Bryce. Maybe change momentum there. No, she misses. Sage on the putback. Now she rebounds it, looks out to air. Shot up, off hard, and rebound by Hansen. She has the ball tied up and taken away. Casey Bugis with the steal. 15-12 Mountain View's way and Mountain View basketball. Haley Stevens with 1:54 left in the Reese Auto Service second period. Looks down low post. Kylie Dellinger is fouled by Bryce Hansen. Hansen not happy with that one. And it looked like Dellinger swiped through, kind of lost the ball, and then Bryce came away with it. I don't know if there was a foul somewhere in that line. I didn't see it, but there may have been some hand fighting. The referee was right in that area.
Maybe. There's a lot of players. There's a lot of aggression. To see everything is getting hard right now. 2
fouls for Bryce Hansen. That's a big storyline for Lyman to keep track of. Dellinger in the lane, hacked by Hadley. More so pushed. That reminds me of how you tried to push me down the stairs earlier today.
You know what? I'm not even
no
going
comment.
there. I'm not even going there.
15-12 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Foul number 1 on Hadley Gross. Free throw number 1 by Kylie Dellinger is no good. Just a bit before 6 o'clock here. 1:47 left in the Reese Auto Service second period. And Kylie Dellinger, 65% from the free throw line, one of the better shooters for Mountain View, who has a lot of free throws on the season, missing her first. Trying to give her team a 4-point advantage, takes her time on the second and delivers. You know, sometimes free throws are a thing that when you take your first shot, it doesn't feel right. And it makes you slow down.
Yep.
You have your routine at the free throw line for a reason, and it looked like she went back to that and then swished it in.
Well, I thought, I'm like, wow, she has a quick release on that. She dribbled once and was up and in, but then the second time you could see, okay, I'm going to calm down, I'm going to catch my breath, and then I'm going to make my second.
On the other end of the court, Mandy Ayer is fouled in right under the bucket. That's the first foul on Bradshaw. On Casey Bugis. This is going to happen again, isn't it?
Yep.
We're going to look at numbers, and we cover Lyman and Mountain View, so when they play, we have both sets of players in our head. Casey Bugis with the foul, both teams with 7 fouls, and Mandy Ayer goes 2-2 from the stripe. Well, that puts the score at 16-14 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View just up by 2 now. Kylie Dellinger's headed right back to the line, and I think Mandy Ayer got under her arms. It's 12 instead, so Bryce Hansen.
That's her third.
Third foul.
Wow.
You can see the crossed arms of Jason Hansen right now, the coach for Lyman, thinking, what do I do now, and how do we play this? Nicole Peeting comes in for Bryce, and she gives a little knowing look and a sigh as she walks out. That third foul could be big the rest of the game. You're pretty much in foul trouble the rest of the way at 3.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Dellinger makes both of her free throws. And she's 3 of 4 from the line. 18-14 Mountain View over Lyman on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. 1:17 left. Sage Bradshaw playing some point guard. Out to the wing, Mandy Ayer. Hadley Gross was liking her chances in the post. Instead, they go opposite. Peden inside against Henstra, no good. Casey Bugis comes away with the board, pushing the tempo. 1:03 left in the first half. Toss up high, nearly taken away by Sage Bradshaw. High-low, then from Stevens to Bugis. She's aggressive in the lane and straight away from 4 feet uses the glass. Casey surprises me because she's 5'3", 5'4". We're used to seeing her play libero. She's an all-state at that, but she is a big player in the game of basketball. She likes to go inside and doesn't care about her size. She shoots And it doesn't matter. You usually don't play see players of her size going in with that aggressiveness.
No, you don't. She plays like she's at least 5'8", maybe 5'6" if you're counting a little bit shorter, but she plays aggressive. You can see how that translates from volleyball to basketball, that I'm going to go down to the ground. I don't care. I'm going to get this.
1-and-1 free throws for Casey Bugas. So Mandy Ayer missed a shot that was pretty close to going in. And then Hadley Gross on the impending rebound fouled. So that's Hadley's second at least. Was that her second or third?
I don't know. I didn't look at the board. I think it's only her second.
I think it's her second. I think I just marked that down, so that's why I was questioning it. Casey Bugas makes her first free throw and her second. A big quarter for her. 7 points in the quarter for Casey, 9 in the game. And it's 22-14 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View over Lyman. Out to the left wing, Charles C. Rose for Lyman. Tosses to Sage Bradshaw up to the top of the key and then to the wing. Mandy Ayer has it. 22 seconds left. Toss it. Bounce pass to Peden. She'll turn around, give it to the free throw line as well, where Mandy Ayer bounce passes to Sage Bradshaw. Gets a double screen. Up over Hedstra. No foul called. Partial block by Bailey as well. 10 seconds left. Mountain View basketball. They lead it by 8. Kylie Dellinger with it. Crosses over. Double team comes in. Bugas looks around right side. A deep three is up and whoa, way off. Just barely hit the top right side of the backboard. But a great first half of play where it's an 8-point differential, though. Lyman trails Mountain View 22-14 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Live from Lyman High School. We'll be back with halftime coverage next on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on MyLocalRadio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on MyLocalRadio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
Trona Valley Federal Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial institution. When you become a member, you are an owner of the credit union. We believe in people over profit, and that impacts the way we do business from our overall structure down to the smallest detail. Our philosophy sets us apart, and we're here for you. Earn more with our high-yield checking account, start a savings goal, check out our competitive loans, and much more. Become a member today. We're a caring partner dedicated to your financial success. Member NCUA.
Sometimes getting the whole family scheduled for a dental appointment is hard. Different days, different times, and then how do you pay for it all? These problems have been solved by Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View because we serve patients of all ages. It's easy to schedule the whole family on the same day, so you just make one trip. We accept most insurances, and if you don't have insurance, we offer an in-house discount so the whole family can have a healthy smile. Don't wait. Call today. Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View, 307-782-3630.
Business cards are a powerful and inexpensive way to promote the goods and services you offer. You can design your own cards or have the professionals at Westar Printing design your business cards. Now with same day and next day turnaround on all business card printing, you don't have to wait. Get your business cards today. Professional quality, inexpensive prices, and quick turnaround. Visit Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston, across from the library. Westar Printing, 307-789-5202.
Getting a shot of some Bridger Valley dancers. I know it was the Bridger Valley something. Neither one of these teams have their own dance team, so a lot of times at halftime we get treated to some younger kids. I think that was probably junior high, maybe younger high school age.
Something like that, yeah.
Saying that middle age. But I'm assuming from both towns, it said the Bridger Valley, so we assume kids from Uri, Robertson, Fort Bridger, Lyman, Mountain View, all of it, all of the Bridger Valley, every single one of them.
Sure, every Bridger and every Valley.
But just this one also.
Oh, okay.
Just this. I don't know of another Bridger Valley. If I do, I'd love to cover their games as well because these games are always great contests. Mountain View over Lyman at the half, 22-14 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. We mentioned in the first half, or specifically that first quarter, how many opportunities Lyman was given, but just could not convert, and it really shows at the field so far.
It does. Right now, Lyman is sitting at 19% from the field, whereas Mountain View is sitting at 35%.
And it's not been a great day shooting for Mountain View. We can pop up and take a look at those stats really quickly on what they average at the season. Mountain View, a 40% shooting team. They shot about 33% last time they played Lyman, so it's about similar to what they had. The difference is in the first half, Lyman shooting 19%. Last time they played 13 days ago, they shot 43% against Mountain View. So the rebounding differential is pretty tight. I think you have it at 16-13.
Yes.
Turnover-wise, there was some early ones. It's settled a little bit. What are we at there?
I have them with 5, but I did miss about a minute of play in the beginning.
Well, we got those counted up for,
I guess we do. Yes, so they're sitting at 5 each.
5 each?
Yep.
All right, yeah. So turnovers really haven't been that big of a deal. I think so far this game's probably been at the pace of play a little bit more akin to what we see Mountain View play than the more up-tempo of Lyman.
Yeah. When you look at it, the only thing, they're about the same at rebounds. Turnovers, steals, and blocks, they're exactly even. If Lyman can just get their shooting percentage up, this game is looking right about tied.
Well, it was pretty empty when I sent you a picture of the girls' JV game, but it filled up in a hurry, and those bleachers are seeming to the top pretty much. And then we've got players to our right and left, and then fans to our right and our left. It's starting to get loud here. It's starting to get a little raucous. Can only imagine it's going to intensify as we get to the third and fourth quarter of this girls' game, and then, of course, when the boys' game starts, all bets are off as usual. First half scoring totals I have individually. For the team on top, it's Mountain View, again, 22-14, the score on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Casey Bugus leading the way with 9 points for Mountain View. Haley Stevens with 2 free throws, 2 of 4 shooting from the stripe, 4 points in all as she has a field goal as well. And then 4 points for Bailey Henstra, 1 hook shot and 1 turnaround push shot up for Henstra. Kylie Dellinger with 3 points, all coming from the free throw line, and 2 from Emily Bugus. On the Lyman side, 8 points by Mandy Ayer, the senior, leading the way, and one of just 3 players to score so far for Lyman. 4 points for Hadley Gross and 2 points for Sage Bradshaw. Again, 19% the field goal percentage for Lyman. We're at 34 for Mountain View. Is that right?
Yes.
34, so
35. Sorry,
35%. So a 16-point difference, 26. How do I do math? 16-point differential between the two teams in shooting, and that's pretty significant when that one team is below 20. We'll now take a break as we'll continue to bring you halftime coverage of the cheer and dance teams. It's 22-14 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board, and this is a First Bank presentation. Mountain View leading Lyman on MyLocalRadio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM. With MyLocalRadio.com, you get to stay up to date with Lyman and Mountain View sports by watching all of the games live in the convenience of your own home. Now you get to keep up with your coaches, athletes, and teachers throughout the week with the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner. Weekdays during the school year, the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner will run on KNYN 99.1 FM at 3 p.m. and keep you up to date with the most interesting storylines from Lyman and Mountain View in football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, running, golf, and more. We'll also check in with different students and teachers from the two schools throughout the year. 3 p.m. Monday through Friday on KNYN 99.1 FM is the Bridger Valley Coaches Show presented by MyLocalRadio.com. Stay connected.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
22-14 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware scoreboard. Mountain View's girls on top of Lyman in the first half. 2 minutes until the second begins. And we mentioned the story of that first half. 3 fouls for Bryce Hansen.
Yep.
And on the field goal percentage, Lyman, if they want to be in this game, is simply going to have to up that percentage. It's not a matter of not getting looks. They've gotten them.
Oh, yeah.
They just have not fallen. And for Mountain View, we could certainly see them get a 10, 15% uptick in shooting as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's not been a banner day for them as well, but it's rivalry night here on Thursday afternoon leading into the evening at the Bridger Valley. 1.5 minutes, and we have third quarter action coming your way again. 22-14, Mountain View over Lyman on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board on a First Bank presentation of Lyman and Mountain View basketball on mylocalradio.com.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
We hope you're enjoying this mylocalradio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman sports. Dr. McKay Frankham, quality dental care at affordable prices. Westar Printing in Evanston. No matter what you want printed, Westar is where you want it done. Reese Auto Service. From lawnmowers and snowblowers to cars, trucks, and semis, Reese Auto Service in Lyman does it all. Trona Valley Credit Union, member NCUA. Wyoming Dental Specialties. Make an appointment with specialist Dr. Vuig or Stosich by calling the Evanston office at Bear River Dental. Plains Tire in Evanston, Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
Second half about to begin, 8 minutes on the clock, and Lyman basketball, they trail 22-14 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board to Mountain View. Lyman in the white jerseys, going from right to left, and on offense, Mountain View defensively with the black jerseys, moving from left to right in half number 2. Mandier has the basketball at the top of the key, looks down low. Sadie Mitchell had the passing lane, played well. Sage Bradshaw comes away with it though, passes down low to Charles C. Rose. An immediate offense out of the break. Charles C. had the opportunity to score first for Lyman, gets the first score of the second half.
And that's her shot, right under the basket. That's where she's good at.
Turn around and convert for Charles C. She's a quick shooter and doesn't mind going up against high pressure defense or situations in the fast break. Mandier comes away with a steal, looks for Charles C. again, saves it on the baseline, throws back to Sage, out of bounds. Last touch by Mountain View. Stays Lyman basketball. Bryce Hansen with 3 fouls is into the game to start the second half. Takes the inbound, does Mandier, bounce pass over to Rose, long two it looks like, hits the back iron, looks like she stepped in on that three-point line and missed. Out of the rebound, Sage Bradshaw comes away with a steal, passes to Air, who is then stolen away by Casey Bugis. So back to Mountain View, moving from left to right. Haley Stevens has the basketball, going against that 3-2 defense of Lyman. Emily at the top of the key, looks over to her left side. Then back to Stevens at the top. Stevens puts the rock down onto the ground, works over to the right wing. Skip to the left side, Emily with it, then to Haley. Haley was quiet offensively in the first half, just one field goal. Bugis takes the skip pass and then dribbles it off her foot, collects it over on that far sideline near the jump line, midline circle as well. Pass to Emily Bugis, then a bounce over to Haley. Long, methodical first possession here going on. Down to the free throw line, Dellinger, 12-footer, off to the right, no good. And rebounded by Charles C. Rose. Pushing the tempo, up ahead, Mandy Air on the left side, good. Haley Stevens had the angle on Mandy, but then kind of retreated and went to guard the person off to the left side. That opened up the angle for Mandy to come in and score. She's in double digits, 10 points in the game. Bailey Henstra looking to make a quick exit, or a quick entrance into this third period. Crossover, an ankle breaker. Casey Bugis sends Air to the ground, but she misses the shot. Then both Bugis sisters and Charles C. Rose go to the ground. On the other end, a layup in fast break for Mandy Air. Quick timeout in the third period, taken by Coach Moretti and the Mountain View Buffs, 32nd. And just like that, it's a 2-point game, a 6-0 run to start the quarter for Lyman. This is the First Bank presentation of Lyman and Mountain View basketball on KNYN 99.1 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
If you want your truck to really catch the eye, have the professionals at Plains Tire in Evanston install a custom lift kit with new tires and wheels. We've got a huge selection to choose from, so no matter what your style is, we've got the tires and wheels to make you smile. The way your truck looks reflects on you. Get the reflection you want with a lift kit, new tires, and wheels from Plains Tire in Evanston, the tire professionals. 157 Bear River Drive. Stop in today.
Took a full timeout, actually, but we come back after 30 seconds. 22-20 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. The Lyman girls on a 6-0 run, trailing just by 2. What's been the difference? Has it been pace of play going more Lyman's way in the passing lanes?
I wouldn't necessarily say that, but they're making smarter decisions in those passing lanes. They're making smarter shots. They're playing up a little bit more. Within the matter of, 2.5 minutes?
Yep.
They have raised their scoring percentage from 19 to 26%.
Well, part of that has been they've been getting similar shots that just happen to fall in this
Switch
second
buckets.
half. Switch hoops. Meanwhile, Mountain View is scoreless in the third quarter. 5:33 left as we welcome you back to action here. Haley Stevens for Mountain View, moving from left to right, gives it to Bugus. On the right wing, Casey backs up. Caroline Bradshaw into the game defensively for Lyman, along with Nicole Peden. So a couple of subs in quickly. Bailey Henstra and Sadie Mitchell in the post for Mountain View. Baseline drive, turns around. Mitchell has it, looking for anyone. Finally, Casey Bugus moves back to the midline circle and takes the pass. At the top of the key, trying to get a little space against the freshman Bradshaw. Casey, elbow, pass down low to Mitchell. One step in, and the layup good.
That was a nice pass.
A good pass and assist by Casey Bugus, and the shot for Sadie Mitchell is her first points of the day. Nicole Peden on the right wing, then passes over to Mandy Eyre on the right wing. Over to the left corner. Turn around, Rose, back to the wing. It's Bradshaw going from wing to wing. Deep three by Bryce Hansen, up too long and over the backboard, out of bounds. Mountain View leading with 4.5 minutes left in the third period over Lyman, 24-20 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. So after the timeout, Mountain View scored 2. Lyman looking for the points, and here comes Bryce Hansen out of the game with 4:35 left. They're probably going to have to play her a little bit in spurts with those 3 fouls.
Well, I like that call by Coach Hansen that she just misses a 3. She's a little bit down on that. Take her out of the game now so she can calm down and not pick up a 4th foul.
And Madison Harris comes in, down into the blocks, turnaround shot, looked to be surely in, but Haley misses short. Back to Lyman, throw ahead from Caroline. Grabbed by Eyre, double team comes in, out to the short corner. Charles E. Rose shoots it over the hoop and out of bounds. Last touch by Harris, it sure looked like. No, it stays with Lyman. Every single 50-50 ball on the Lyman side today has gone Lyman's way.
If you're Mountain View and they touch it, don't touch it again. Just leave it.
Harris inbounds to Peden. She'll drive in, turn around back to Harris, then to the wing. It's Mandy Eyre with the basketball. Has an open Sage Bradshaw at the left wing. She goes to the free throw line, 15-foot jumper. Hits front iron, no good. Emily Bugus with the rebound for Mountain View. 4-point lead on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board for Mountain View with the basketball. Loft up. Lyman getting aggressive, particularly Sage Bradshaw looking to come away with a steal. She's hounding whoever she has defensively and playing those passing lanes. Look down low. Stevens turns around to Henstra off the glass. No good. Lyman rebound. It was Sage Bradshaw up ahead to Caroline, then back to Sage at the top of the key. She'll step in long, 2 straight away. Good. Not nothing but net, but points nonetheless for Sage Bradshaw. Rattled around, hit the rim a couple of times and dropped down. It's 24-22. Turn around, Haley Stevens misses the 8-footer, and Lyman on the run once again. This time Caroline leading the charge. She goes up against Bugus, misses, and tied up jump ball stays Mountain View's way. Emily Bugus and Caroline Bradshaw got tied up. Or Sage Bradshaw got tied up there. Caroline on the layup miss. Mandy Eyre out of the game. Hope Sinnott in for her. And on Lyman's side, 2-point contest here in the third period. Mountain View leading Lyman on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. A missed bounce pass goes into the hands of Caroline. She looks ahead to her sister Sage. Sage on the run to Sinnott. The defense turns around, grabs a steal. It's Haley Stevens taking it away. Back to Mountain View from left to right. 24-22 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. She looks away from Bradshaw, doesn't want to give a chance of a steal there. Instead to Dellinger. 6-foot jumper, no good by Kylie. Sage comes away with the board and stepped out of bounds. I thought we were going to have a foul there, but instead just good defense by Kylie.
That was good defense.
Stepped out of bounds. We are 5 minutes and 41 seconds into the second half, and there are no fouls. I like it. I love rivalry games with no fouls.
I do too, and it's not like they're just not calling it, but they're just playing good defense that's not fallible.
Haley Stevens drives into the left block and puts up her signature rising jumper. First field goal for her of the second half. 6 points in the game, and it's a 26-22 lead for Mountain View on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. A throwaway. Harris tossed it right to Henstra. Back to Mountain View. Dellinger picks up her dribble, finds Bucas on the right corner. She dribbles up to the wing. 2 minutes left. Bucas at the top of the key. Looks over to Haley Stevens, says something. Running the play here. Toss over to the left side. Stevens catches it on the left block. Quick 2 points. And Casey ran that offense there and called for Haley to roll down and fake going out to the outside on the corner. Instead, lofted it into her on the blocks.
That was a good play.
Sage Bradshaw in the lane, and she comes up with a little quick hitter as well. 4 players come in for Lyman, but first, we have a timeout. 28-24 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View over Lyman right here at Lyman High School. 30-second timeout. We'll be back on a First Bank presentation on MyLocalRadio.com of Bridger Valley basketball.
Meet the service and parts department staff at Auto Farm Chevrolet. We work on almost every type of vehicle, foreign and domestic. We also sell parts and accessories for almost all makes and models. Our staff is friendly and well-trained, and we are here to serve you. Open Monday through Friday beginning at 7:30 a.m., we invite you to Auto Farm Chevrolet for all your parts and for all your service needs. 624 Front Street, Evanston. We're a community-driven dealer.
28-24 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View leading Lyman. We saw a great little play by Casey Bugas to set up Haley Stevens. But on the Lyman side, they seemed to almost let that one happen.
Yeah, they were just very methodical, and I don't know if they thought they were back in practice or where, but they were not on the court.
28-24, and Lyman is on defense. Down by 2 possessions. Sage Bradshaw on the defense of Bugas. Out to the right corner. Stevens to Bugas. Sage nearly comes away with the steal. Casey comes away with it. To Emily at the top. Drives in and off to the right wing. Charles C. Rose on Casey Bugas. Now Mandiere. That extended 3-2 zone for Lyman. So many players will be defending the same person depending on where they are in the court. Emily bounce pass to the free throw line. Dellinger looks down low. Taken away. Bryce Hansen made her entrance back into the game immediately known. Out to Mandiere on the left block. High post. Looks down low to Hadley Gross. Turns around to the corner. Wide open for 3. Charles C. passes it up. Down to 52 seconds left in the third period. Top of the key. Bryce Hansen backing up to the jump circle. Works over to her left. Picks up on the wing. Looks down high post to Air. She'll turn around back up behind the three-point line. Guarded by Bugas. Man-on-man defense being employed by Mountain View. That's something we almost never see by Lyman. Down low, and Stevens comes away with a steal. Into the hands of Emily Bugas, and after that long offensive possession, it doesn't even yield a shot. 26 seconds left. Mountain View basketball with a 4-point advantage on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Casey Bugas takes the pass from Emily at the top of the key. Works over to her right side. On the wing, Rose stabs at it. Bugas drives past her, then past Hansen. Rejected, but a foul comes in late. 2 shots, and it is on Hadley Gross, her third. Both her and Hansen were sandwiching Bugas from the front and behind. Quick moves by Casey, but that height caught up with her there against 2 much taller players.
I thought it was going to be on Bryce. She went up and just ripped the ball back, causing Casey Bugas to fall backwards, and I thought it was going to be on her, and I think she even thought the same thing with her facial expression.
Casey Bugas at the stripe makes her first. She's up to 10 points in the game and a 5-point lead for Mountain View over Lyman. 10 ticks left in quarter number 3. Second shot, good.
I have her at 100% on the day from the line. Is that right?
That's right. She's 6 of 6. Mandiere with the basketball. 7 seconds left. Lyman ball down by 6. Air throws it up from the left block. No good. Dellinger on the board. The third quarter ends without a shot as well. Mountain View up on Lyman's home court. 30-24 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. This is a First Bank presentation of the Bridger Valley Battle on MyLocalRadio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM.
When you're looking for one location that is centrally located in Wyoming to host a business meeting or corporate retreat, always consider the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper first. With meeting rooms and amenities that everyone can enjoy at the Come On In is the best place to host events. The rustic decor, fireplaces, jacuzzis, pool, and large indoor atrium will make your event memorable. Call today and find out the ways we can help make your event a success. Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper. Call 307-472-6300.
An infected tooth can cause discomfort and serious harm to your health. At Wyoming Dental Specialties, endodontist Dr. Leslie Walker understands the complexities removing infected tissues from inside the tooth, which is one reason why you can trust him to provide endodontic treatment and root canal therapy. With a skilled staff and state-of-the-art technology in our office, we help save your smile and improve your overall dental health. Call today to schedule your appointment, 307-789-5608.
24 points for Lyman on their home court. They were shooting 19% from the field at the end of the half. What are they at as we start the fourth period?
Right now, Mountain View is sitting still at 35%, and Lyman is sitting at 26%.
So they've upped it by 7 points. They trail by 6. Bryce Hansen rejected by Henstra. Fourth quarter starts with a Lyman turnover, essentially, a block steal there. Haley Stevens with the basketball, calls out for Casey Bugis. She takes it. Stevens sitting on the right side. See if there's running the same play again here. Stevens goes under the basket, down to the free throw line. Mandy Ayers steals it out of the lane, out of the passing lane, intended for Kylie Dellinger. Bryce Hansen crosses over to the elbow, up top. Air fakes a three, drives in to the painted area. No good. Rebound is Dellinger. A sea of Mountain View players in the lane, and a 1-on-4 essentially as they drove in. Mountain View basketball, 7:10 left in the fourth period. Casey Bugis with the basketball. A 6-point lead for Mountain View. Three ball is rejected by Hansen. Out of bounds, last touch by Mountain View. Bailey Henstra got it. Sadie Mitchell's out as Emily Bugis comes back in for Mountain View. 6-point lead for the Buffs. Lyman cut it from 8 points to 2 in quick fashion in the third period, but then Mountain View's regained control. Bradshaw down low to Air, and a foul comes in. Just the second foul of the half, and first for Mountain View. That is going to be tough for anyone hoping to get some free throws.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's happening.
No, I don't think it is.
Down low, Peden takes the inbound from Hansen. Now here's what's going to happen. If one team's down late, there's going to be a foul fest.
Yeah.
Because they're going to need to get into the bonus in a hurry, and unless something drastically changes in the next 3 minutes, they're not going to get there by the officials' whistles without forcing the issue.
Yeah.
Love the game, though. It's moved along. We're at 6:29 p.m. in the fourth period. A great competitive contest. 4-point game of rivals playing for a number 1 spot in regionals next week. Bugis is rejected, gets her own board. Turns around in the right corner, then to the top of the key. Casey out to the left side. Down low, Henstra had the ball, but it got off of, she couldn't catch it, went off her leg. Charles C. Rose came away with it. Up ahead, Mandy Air is fouled on the left side by Dellinger. Second foul of the half for Mountain View. You know, watching Mountain View kind of go around the top of the circle today has kind of illustrated, they're a team that, number 1, takes care of the ball, so they're not really throwing the ball away too much, but it illustrates the frustration of playing this extended 3-2 zone against Lyman.
Yeah.
Because you just keep going around and there's never any space.
No, there's not.
Timeout taken. It's 30-26, a full timeout taken, so we will be back in 1 minute. 30-26, Mountain View over Lyman on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman basketball on KNYN 99.1 FM and online at MyLocalRadio.com.
At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we know our members by name and we love working with them face-to-face. But did you know that members can also handle almost all banking online? Everything from managing your accounts and paying bills to applying for all types of loans. It's simple and we're happy to help you get started. Join Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today. We're a caring partner dedicated to your financial success. TronaValley.com, member NCUA.
30-26 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View over Lyman. And I think they stood up for a full timeout after all. And I think there might have been some confusion on the scoreboard. It was called a full time initially, and then it was corrected to a half. But that seemed like a full minute of time that we were standing and waiting for him to come back. But a long timeout for, I think that was Lyman taking that one. Just 2 fouls for Mountain View in this half, just 1 for Lyman. Bryce Hansen standing with 3. She has not picked up a foul in the second half. Lyman basketball. Mandy Air has it. They need to score a couple of possessions to tie it up here. Free throw line pass to Nicole Peden, and then Peden takes one dribble, toss out to Bradshaw. On the baseline, she tumbles down to the ground, steps out of bounds, but a foul comes in, and foul's coming in a hurry now. Haley Stevens picks it up.
I think you might have jinxed Mountain View.
Well, and they got 3 fouls now. They've picked up 3 in about a minute of time. To the free throw line, Air bounce passes to Caroline. Then to Air. Long 3 is up and in. Just like that, the game is 1 point difference. Mountain View has Haley Stevens racing with it. Henstra was open under the hoop the whole time. The pass never came, and then Haley Stevens dribbled it off her foot and out of bounds. 30-29, Lyman on top. Lyman down by 1 point, but certainly threatening here. Nicole Peden drives in against Henstra, off the glass, no good. Rebound by Emily Bugas. Bugas takes it across herself. 5:14 left in the fourth period. Out to the right wing. Dellinger tosses to the left side. They've been trying to open up Haley from 3. High dribble, almost topped it for maybe a carry. Crossover. Haley still with it. Drives through, under the hoop, goes up against Hansen, trying to force a fourth, no call. Henstra with the putback. Back to a 3-point game. 32-29 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Bailey Henstra with 6 points in the contest. Nicole Peden with the basketball for Lyman, out to the right side. Moving from right to left, under the baseline. Bradshaw to Air. Lefty shot, drops! Mandy goes to the ground, but the shot falls in. 32-31. A steal for Lyman. Sage Bradshaw up ahead to Air. She's blocked by Emily. And out of bounds off the elbow of Mandy. Well, that was finally that pass, that out of bounds baseline that went Mountain View's way. 5 points in the quarter, 9.5 for Mandy Air, and 17 in the game. Sadie Mitchell checks in for Emily Bugas. 4:29 left in the fourth period. Kylie Dellinger, the inbounder, bounces it to Stevens, nearly out of bounds, off the foot of Hansen. She'll pick it up, turn around, think about a 3. Had Sage behind her the whole time. Instead, to Mandy Air at the top. 4:19 left in the fourth period. Lyman down by 1 point. Nicole Peden on the wing to Bryce Hansen. She's at the top of the key, guarded by Stevens. Mandy Air out on the wing, puts the rock on the ground. Hands off to Bradshaw. She'll dribble toward the right side of Air, then pass it back to her on the wing. Halfway through the fourth period, 1 point game. Lyman down. Hansen being fronted by Stevens, gets the ball, throws to the opposite wing, taken away by Henstra. Back to Mountain View. Haley slows up, walks the ball behind the timeline. Across at 3:43. Now she's sitting at the jump circle, looking up at the clock. No one's coming out to guard her. She's continuing to delay. 3:33 left. Now moves in toward the wing. 5-second clock starts working. Passes into Bugas. Casey drives around. No foul, no shot to go either. And a race for the ball. Nicole Peden tripped up, hit her left knee, and she is down. She'll get back up, but that's certainly a stinger in the days to come. Out of bounds. There was a foul called on Dellinger for tripping. Third foul on Kylie Dellinger. Far side inbound for Bryce Hansen. Mandy Air with the basketball. 3:16 left in the game. 32-31. Lyman down, but with the ball. Bounce pass to Charles C. Rose on the left wing. She's guarded by Sadie Mitchell. Working to her right, picks up her dribble. Has Bradshaw pop out to the top of the key. Casey stabs at the basketball. Sage regroups. Down inside the lane, overshoots on the layup, over the back, foul against Mandy Air. And that's foul number 2 of the half. Kylie Dellinger to inbound. For Mandy, I have that as her second. That's the call.
That is her second.
2:57 left in the fourth. Bounce pass to Stevens, then back to Bugus. A foul comes in against Rose. Otherwise, it was the ball on the deck one more time. Mountain View has started to struggle against a full court press of Lyman. You have the Bradshaw girls sitting at the midline, and then Rose and Air. Toss over the top. Caroline has it. Tiptoeing the far sideline. She's out of bounds. She'll turn around, pout a little bit as she didn't like that call.
Well, credit her. She saw it coming. She ran over and did everything she could.
If you got the long pass coming, that's who you want, is Sage and Caroline at the top, because they're your two quickest, most athletic. They're just your wild cards defensively. They can do things on the court that no one else can do.
No.
2:40 left. And the passing lane steal again, picked up by Bradshaw, up ahead to Caroline. She stops wisely, waits for a bit, but then throws it into the hands of Henstra. Bryce Hansen comes away back with the ball, up ahead to Rose. Lyman shot missed on the layup. A rare layup miss. Caroline with the rebound. She's hacked by Bailey and to the line for two.
What is Caroline sitting at on the year?
From the free throw line?
No, from the three-point line.
From the three-point line? You're joking, right?
Yes, I'm joking.
She's 10 of 19.
Okay.
That's to say she hasn't shot a whole lot, but she makes her first and ties this game.
Well, she made them when they counted.
They always count, but I know what you're saying. That's what Shaq used to always say, and then people would come back and say, Shaq, they count in the first quarter too. She makes the second. 2 of 2 trip for Caroline Bradshaw. And Lyman has the lead, 33-32 on the Benedict's Market and Ace hardware board. A travel by Jada Kennison. Gives it back to Lyman.
And Haley Stevens back in.
Well, you got to bring Haley in. But I think Jada was just brought in because Haley was having trouble controlling the ball in the backcourt. The Lyman pressure has turned this game on its head. It's still a one-pointer. Again, number 1 seed on the line. Lyman wins it. They're number 1. Mountain View wins. They're 1 win or a loss away. A foul against Mountain View is their 5th.
I think that's against Sadie.
That is the call. Sadie Mitchell picks up her foul. That's her second. And now 6 team fouls. So here you go, Lyman with the lead, and they are in the bonus with every extra foul the rest of the way. 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. 33-32. Bradshaw. That's Caroline as the basketball, nearly stolen away by Kylie. To Sage, then Bryce. Stevens on Hansen. She'll pass it left side to Air. Brings Bailey Henstra out of the post. Caroline wide open in the blocks. Air sees it. The layup is good. Well, that play forcing Bailey Henstra out of the post. No one picked it up, and Caroline was left wide open down there low. And she has 4 points. The 4 points to give Lyman a 3-point lead. To tie it, Dellinger returns the favor, and Mountain View has 35 points. An immediate timeout taken by Coach Moretti after the shot to tie. 35-35 on the Benedict's Market and Ace hardware board. And a full timeout. We'll be back in 1 minute. 1:27 left on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on KNYN and MyLocalRadio.com.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hi, this is Chase Sawyer with Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction. Our company has helped thousands of people put their homes, businesses, and lives back together after a fire, flood, storm, or other disastrous event. We work with all insurance companies, and we work for you by being professional, fair, and honest. Our certified technicians are trained in every aspect of restoration, so we can complete each project in a fast and satisfactory way. Call us today, 307-741-7000. Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction.
Fourth quarter with 1:27 left. 35-35. Lyman and Mountain View fighting for a top spot in next week's regionals right here at the Lyman High School Varsity Gymnasium. Mandy Aird has the basketball for Lyman at the 10-foot volleyball line. Works over to her left. Bounce pass to Caroline Bradshaw. Caroline has the last 4 points for Lyman. An unlikely offensive hero late in these minutes. Bradshaw holding on to it. They're going to force the guard to come out. What do we have for turnovers if you can look quickly for Lyman today?
For Lyman, we have 13 turnovers and 18 for Mountain View.
Yeah, so it's split on its head. Actually, those teams have flip-flopped their averages on the season. 50 seconds left. Coach Moretti still saying patience. It's a tie game. You're not down. You can let this play out. Down low, Hansen is fouled. That's exactly what you did not want to happen, though. It's on Casey Bugis. Well, they were patient. I don't mind that. You don't want to force the issue, especially when it's a tie game as opposed to now you're going to have free throws at 44 seconds left.
Yeah.
Even if she makes both of them, you get the ball back. It's in your hands. Bryce does make the first. And believe it or not, that's Bryce's first point of the day.
Yeah, it is.
She was hampered in the first half by the fouls, but it hasn't been her offensive night. It's been Mandy Ayers with the 17 points, but Hansen, the clutch free throw shooting sophomore, gives Lyman a 2-point lead. Mountain View basketball moving from left to right, down to 40 seconds left in the fourth period. Out to the left wing, Sadie Mitchell has it. Drives past the 3-2 zone, open, in the hoop, in the home. Bryce Hansen with their fourth foul. And 32 seconds left. How big was that play, Kate?
Oh, that was so big. And you can see Bryce is killing herself for that one.
4 points for Sadie Mitchell and a timeout taken to regroup for Coach Hansen. 4 fouls on Bryce Hansen and a free throw by Mitchell. When we come back in 1 minute, this is a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on MyLocalRadio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM, 37 all the way around Mountain View and Lyman. Fourth quarter action.
Sometimes getting the whole family scheduled for a dental appointment is hard. Different days, different times, and then how do you pay for it all? These problems have been solved by Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View because we serve patients of all ages. It's easy to schedule the whole family on the same day, so you just make one trip. We accept most insurances, and if you don't have insurance, we offer an in-house discount so the whole family can have a healthy smile. Don't wait. Call today. Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View, 307-782-3630.
At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we know our members by name and we love working with them face-to-face. But did you know that members can also handle almost all banking online? Everything from managing your accounts and paying bills to applying for all types of loans. It's simple and we're happy to help you get started. Join Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today. We're a caring partner dedicated to your financial success. TronaValley.com, member NCUA.
We're back to action here at Lyman High School, where Sadie Mitchell for Mountain View stands 15 feet away from the hoop, unguarded because it's a free throw. 37-37 with the chance to give her Mountain View Buffs the lead and an inside track to a #1 seed. She misses. Rebound, Bryce Hansen. Haley Stevens was in there as well, relinquished eventually to avoid getting a foul. It's tied up, 37s. Lyman basketball, Bradshaw to Bradshaw on the left side. Near sideline. Finds open Rose. Charles C to the free throw line. Bryce looking down low, tumbles to the ground, and a block foul called against Bailey Henstra.
I can't say I agree with that, but Lyman fans are ecstatic right now about it.
Well, there was a lot of hands and head scratching on the Mountain View side after that. Henstra looked pretty set.
She was set, arms up in the air. Bryce just tripped over.
Hansen on the 1-and-1, misses. Rebound, Mountain View. Yes, it is rebound, Mountain View. Haley Stevens with the ball. 10 seconds left. Caroline comes out to Mitchell. Down low, the foul comes in late. And that's it for Bryce, I think. It looks like a 5th foul on Hansen. 1-2.
Yep.
And she had to foul. They took too long to foul. Well, I guess no, I was looking at the tie game.
Yeah.
So that late foul, never mind. Hold on a second, but. All right, 37s, and Sadie Mitchell right back where she just was at the free throw stripe to give her team a lead. This time, though, she has 2 chances, and Lyman, no matter what happens in these next 5 seconds, if we go farther, they'll have to do it without their sophomore point guard. Mitchell tosses the ball up into the air and sinks it.
If you're Lyman, what play do you draw up now to get that extra point or even 2 points
Well,
now?
you lost your long ball thrower
Yep.
in Bryce. It would be Bryce to Mandy, but now what do you do indeed? Second shot is no good. And it's rebounded by Mountain View. Dellinger racing with the basketball. 2 seconds left. She's shouldered by Bradshaw. And the clock stops at exactly 2 ticks. 38-37, Mountain View on top. Again, remember, Mountain View holds the tiebreaker. So this win, all they have to do is either have a Pinedale victory over Lyman tomorrow, or they can take care of it themselves with a big Piney victory, and they will be the number 1 seed. That was just the 6th team foul, so it's an inbound with 2 seconds left. We're all caught up. We'll keep it right here. A 30-second timeout taken. This contest down to the wire, and when that free throw missed by Sadie Mitchell, there was a big cloud of dust of white and black jerseys. You had no idea until almost a second had gone off the clock who had the basketball.
Well, I watched Kylie come around, and she had the ball, and she was screaming. She knew what that meant by having that rebound.
Yeah, she was racing away. Only Caroline was able to finally catch her. Give her the shoulders. You got to make that foul very noticeable. Just 2 seconds left. For Lyman, their final chance is somehow steal this inbound. 1-2 dribbles maybe, and then throw up the shot to win it.
Yeah.
Be a lot easier if you at least had the ball, but even that would be a tall task right now.
And looking at the players on the court, you don't have Bryce. She throws the ball to Mandy, and she gets it in. I don't know who you have in this situation.
Well, it's Mountain View basketball.
Well, yeah, but if
in the situation that they did have the ball. Okay.
I don't know, maybe Caroline Bradshaw can channel some of her sister.
Emily Bugas with the inbound. She is looking for anyone. Timeout taken by Coach Moretti at the 4.5-second mark. Almost had a 5-second call there.
It was getting close. They need to get it in.
Full timeout taken. We will take a break then. Return for the conclusion of this game. 38-37 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View leading Lyman on a First Bank presentation of the Bridger Valley Battle on MyLocalRadio.com.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Super kids deserve super care. Experience the difference with board-certified pediatricians Alan Brown, MD, and Bird Gilmartin, MD, at Uinta Medical Group. Whether it's tracking your child's overall health at Well Child Check.
Back to the game, 2 seconds left. Throw into Mountain View. Haley Stevens grabs it. Fouled with 0.4 seconds left. That should do it here. 38-37, the score on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Foul on number 10, Nicole Peden. Her first. That doesn't matter.
No.
What mattered was that Mountain View got the inbound in safely, and they did that. So they should secure this victory here tonight and head into tomorrow knowing that the task is all they need to do is beat the so far winless in conference Big Piney Punchers, and they're the top spot, taking on most likely Lovell, but it's still up in the air. They could beat Powell. Lovell actually holds the tiebreaker at the moment over Powell because Lovell, with 3 wins on the season, last week beat Lander, a team that beat both of these teams. Lander ran over Mountain View, beat Lyman late, and then they lost to Lovell. So Stevens goes 1 and 2 from the stripe, and Mountain View now in the driver's seat to finish the Southwest Conference on top. 39-37 the final on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View defeats Lyman on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley.
Whatever you need, it's likely that Bradshaw's and Lyman can help. Whether it's windows at home or new glass in your car, truck, SUV, or semi, Bradshaw's has it. Tires? Yes. All vehicles, ATVs, semis, and more. Bradshaw's offers a 24-hour towing service for everything large to small. And the Bradshaw Fitness Center is open 24/7. There's more, so always call Bradshaw's first. Whatever you need, it's likely they can help. 307-787-3450. Again, that's 307-787-3450.
Hi, this is Chase Sawyer with Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction. In addition to our cleanup and restoration services, we also offer new construction and remodeling. We can help with a newer kitchen, bathroom, a garage, deck, or a new addition to your home. We provide accurate, itemized estimates with no hidden fees or extra charges, and we complete each job to 100% of your satisfaction. Call us today at 307-741-7000. Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction.
15 minutes until the boys start here. The final score on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View comes away victorious 39-37, and the final tallies on for points. Haley Stevens for Mountain View finishes with a 9-point game. I'm not sure the last time she finished in single digits. It does not happen often for that senior point guard. Leading the way for the victorious Mountain View Buffs, Casey Bugis, with 11 points, 9 of those coming in the first half. 6 for Bailey Henstra, 5 from Sadie Mitchell, 3 by Kylie Dellinger. And, 6 for Kylie Dellinger. She hit that big 3 in the fourth quarter to tie the game up at 35-35 from 35-32. So 6 points for Kylie Dellinger and 2 by Emily Bugis. Lyman drops back down to 500 on the season at 11-11, but it picks up just their first conference loss of the season. They stand at 4-1, as does Mountain View. However, Mountain View with the tiebreaker now needs one victory for themselves or one loss by Lyman to secure the top spot. Leading the way for Lyman was Mandy Ayer with 17 points, 6 by Sage Bradshaw, 4 by Hadley Gross and Caroline, and then 2 points for 3 players, Bryce Hansen, Charles C. Rose, and Nicole Peden, all finished with 2 in the game. We'll take a break now, come back with interviews for both the Mountain View Buffs and Lyman Eagles, Coach Lewick and Coach Reese. Give us their thoughts as we see Andrew Housekeeper coming in, not in street clothes, but a nice tailored suit, so he's not in action as we expected tonight. The Lyman Eagles will have to work around that one. This is the First Bank presentation of the Bridger Valley Battle on KNYN 99.1 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
We hope you're enjoying this mylocalradio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Dr. McKay Frankham, quality dental care at affordable prices. West Star Printing in Evanston. No matter what you want printed, West Star is where you want it done. Reese Auto Service. From lawnmowers and snowblowers to cars, trucks, and semis, Reese Auto Service in Lyman does it all. Trona Valley Credit Union, member NCUA. Wyoming Dental Specialties. Make an appointment with specialist Dr. Vuig or Stosich by calling the Evanston office at Bear River Dental. Plains Tire in Evanston, Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
Kevin Lewick with me, head coach of the Lyman Eagles. Last time we saw you was against Big Piney. Close game. How did you feel about it outside of that final outcome, of course, being the loss?
You know, the first half I didn't feel like we played well, but the second half we played about as well as we played all year. You know, without the housekeeper kid and, McCoy Smith stepping in for us, we competed hard. I mean, we could have laid down easily, being a little short, and we got after it and almost pulled one out.
Big Piney, that loss means that you're going to be a 3 or 4 seed, means you got a tough regional matchup for sure. Probably was going to have one way or another, but that just sets the course for you. You get to finish out against Mountain View this week and then Pinedale on Friday. What are you hoping to get out of this last week?
Well, we're hoping to get a win. We need at least one more win to guarantee that number 3 seed, and I think we already have that wrapped up, because we got Pinedale on the road. We're hoping to have some momentum so that we play well we don't want to play poorly and then go into regionals.
Yeah, I think Pinedale would have to go 2-0 over the week and then you would have to go 0-2 for the only chance for that to happen. Otherwise, you do have the tiebreaker, as I understand it. But nonetheless, it's more about how you were finishing out and how you performed potentially without Andrew again on the court. You had, like you said, you mentioned you started McCoy Smith and you ran a little bit deeper into the bench earlier on. How did some of those kids do, and where can they grow?
I think they can grow just by having varsity minutes. I need to grow as a coach. Sometimes I get a little impatient, and I think it creates a little bit of anxiety of those kids coming off of the bench, and so I made a concerted effort to kind of keep my rear end on the seat, and I think that enabled us, especially the second half, to be a little more relaxed.
I was talking to the Big Piney coach, and he said it was interesting to see your team now because he was telling me you used to be a guy that slowed it down so much to see you guys out and running as much as you did. He just said it's funny to see, how you've changed to adjust to your personnel. And is that something that you've done multiple times throughout your career?
You kind of have to look at what you have and kind of create a system that fits those kids. We don't really have a back-to-the-basket type kid, so we have to spread the floor, and by spreading the floor, we have to kind of try to pressure a little bit and turn people over, and, we're going to shoot a lot of threes, and some nights we're not going to be on, but hopefully there'll be some long rebounds where our little guards can kind of sneak in there. And so typically in the past I've slowed things down and we've been a bunch of cloud horses, but this year we've tried to pick up the pace.
You get Mountain View on Thursday again, and that's the contest that you get at home this time. But kind of got away from you in the second half. I'm sure you're looking to avoid that. Of course, you'll be without Andrew potentially. We'll see how that goes. How do you think that you can? Where do you think you can improve outside of losing Andrew in that second half?
Well, we've got to make sure that we value the basketball. We've got to get a shot every time down the floor. Because of their length, we're going to be even smaller now. And so we've got to spread the floor. And, if they decide to kind of pressure us and try to switch everything out, which they did after Andrew went down, then we have to find kind of the mismatch. We need to find where maybe one of their bigs are guarding one of our little guards, and hopefully we could take advantage of that.
Coach Lewick, thank you.
Thank you.
Hearing from Coach Lewick there as we get ready for the second half of this doubleheader. We talked about magic numbers in the girls' game a lot. Well, for Mountain View, they have a magic number as well, and it's also one. One win or one loss. One win for Mountain View either tonight or tomorrow, or one loss by Big Piney either tonight or tomorrow. And Mountain View is your top seed, and that would put them most likely on the opposite side of Worland. Now, Worland and Lander will play tomorrow, and that's when we'll find out how that game finishes. And I say most likely Worland, not just because they're undefeated in Wyoming and they have the inside track right now, but because since there are no tiebreakers, to my understanding, it's either going to come down to Worland wins against Lander and they're the number one seed, or Lander wins, and then it's a coin flip. So you have to put Worland's chances above 50%, somewhere in the 66 to 75%. However that exact statistics would work, because I would say 75%, but I've spent enough time around people who know math that I find out usually I'm wrong when I try to make it simple. But either way, Worland the favorite right now to get that top spot at the regionals. That would put Mountain View, a team that played them to the brink, had them up 18 in the first half, on the opposite side of the bracket, and then a potential semifinal matchup and a rematch against Worland, which was a double overtimer in Lander. Last time we saw Mountain View and Lander do battle, that'd be a great one. For Lyman, they're sitting at 3 or 4. They need either a win or a loss by their opponent, Pinedale tomorrow or tonight, or they can get a win today. They also just need one to be locked into that number 3 seed, and we were talking about that a bit with Coach Lewick too. They're pretty secure in that number 3 spot, we suspect. However, nothing is quite done yet. And nonetheless, 3 spot or not, no Andrew Housekeeper again tonight. That puts McCoy Smith as the starter. How long until we do see Andrew? He went out with that concussion against Mountain View 13 days ago. I heard there's a chance he may try to go tomorrow. If not, then they're searching to get him in against the first-round regional opponent. That will likely be the number 1, number 2. It probably put him against Lander then against maybe Lander. I got to figure those out again. I always forget what's happening. So, yeah, no, it'd be against Lander as the first-round matchup. They would be in the same bracket as Mountain View. Just think myself through for a bit. 1 and 3, 2 and 4. That's a team that they can compete with. But they're going to need Housekeeper back because he does so much for that team. However, against Big Piney, Lyman had some players step up. Carter Smith comes to mind in the role he filled in. And Preston Brewer, always a hustle player. Jet Dickerson went 4 for 4 from distance from beyond the arc to get Lyman back into that game. And what ended up being a pretty good finish against Big Piney, although they're 0-3 against them this year. Look, Lyman's been close with a lot of teams. The fact is, though, they've lost 5 straight, most of those all being really close. So they need to try to figure out something to right the ship, and I guess it could all start tonight. For Mountain View, they're just hoping to be healthy. They've been inflicted by the flu a lot, and Luke Branson was so sick he couldn't even go last Wednesday. There was a few more players for Mountain View who did play but were looking pretty dog-tired throughout the entirety of that contest. Branson is in uniform tonight. We expect him to play and come off the bench, and he's a big scorer for the Buffs, and they don't run a very long rotation, as neither does Lyman as this conference season has started. They, for the most part, run 6.5 deep because that 7th player gets in for a few minutes here and there, and then other than that, probably not too much beyond the 6 top guys on the roster will see much playing time tonight. We'll see how that manifests itself tonight with Mountain View versus Lyman, time number 2. It was 27-24 at the half 13 days ago after Andrew Housekeeper was fouled up from the three-point line. He hit all 3 free throws and gave Lyman a lead, but that all went Mountain View's way in the second half. They came away with a 17-point victory in that contest. We expect to see some, as Coach Reese will call it, junk defense tonight against Mountain View as well. We'll probably see some box and 1 against Braden, maybe a triangle and 2, trying to keep Blue Mel out of the action as well. And that's for Lyman, especially without Housekeeper, what you're going to have to do. Now, who do we see on Braden? My guess is Carter Smith. He's kind of been that defensive lockdown guy as of late, but we'll find out in about 3.5 minutes from now. Closing out the second portion of the Bradshaw's of the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction second pregame show. That was your Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness first look at the boys game. Now let's hear from Dustin Reese, head coach of the Mountain View Buffs.
Dustin Reese with me. You got 2 more games to finish out the season. Let's start with Lyman. How about it? That's the first game in order. Big game, you get a win, you're number 1 team in the Southwest Conference, and that's really the biggest thing of this week is securing that seed. You talked about it. You want that top seeding. Gives you the best path to state. How are your kids doing after the last week and getting ready for the final week of the season?
Yeah, I think hopefully we'll be as healthy as we've been. We've been battling the flu, and hopefully we'll have Luke Branson back for the Lyman game and the Big Piney game. And we know that we need to win one of these games, which will give us Lovell as the first-round game. We don't know a ton about Lovell, but obviously we'd like to go in the number 1 seed. That'll also put us on Lander's side, unless Lander ends up upsetting Moreland. So really, who knows where we'll end up. We just need to make sure we are playing our brand of basketball and playing good basketball regardless of what happens at the end of the weekend.
After the first-round game, it doesn't really seem to matter too much in seeding because I was looking at that Lander and Warland. I can't say with any surety who's going to win that game the second time around, and they're both very tough competitors.
Yeah, if you're going to be in a regional championship, you're going to have to beat one of them, and I don't know that it matters which one. We played both. We had leads on both, and so we'll see. Hopefully we get to a semifinal match. Right now we need to worry about Lyman, Big Piney, and then hopefully Lovell in that order.
Well, with Lyman last time, it was a slower first half for you that you got your offense working in the second half. Is that partially rivalry attributed, or was it just your team not maybe being healthy? What the heck was going on that first half that you righted in the second?
Well, I think that's Coach Lewick. He's gonna come up with something. He's never, in the 3 years I've coached against him with boys, he's never played us straight up. So he'll have a box and 1 or a triangle and 2 or some junk defense just to try to slow us down, I think, and to get us out of rhythm. He did that. I think we kind of finally figured it out, in the third quarter over there the first time, and we've been preparing for it. So we'll see. Hopefully if we're in rhythm, we'll be fine, but we know that he's going to do anything he can to get us out of rhythm.
Against Big Piney, you play a team that's very efficient, and it's got to be a challenge as a coach playing a team that is as disciplined as that senior group.
Yeah, I think Big Piney's as good as it is. I think they have great guards. They have great posts. They shoot it well. They feed the post on the inside. They're really a complete package. And I think our matchups with them are pretty much the same. I think we have good guards. We have good inside play. We do a lot of things the same, and so it really should be a great game on Friday night.
After that, you close out for the season, but you don't have to go too far. Regionals being 6 miles away has got to be a benefit for you guys. You don't have to pay for any hotel rooms, you don't have to pay for extra meals, and you don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, I think it's a huge advantage for both Mountain View and Lyman. You know, our kids can sleep in their own beds, and we can really just kind of keep things straight. We don't have to go sit in a gym all day finding something to do. Our kids can stay in school or they can go home. So I think it's definitely an advantage for both Mountain View and Lyman with them hosting. And we played on that floor a lot, and I think we play well in that gym. And so hopefully it's to our advantage in a couple weeks.
All right, Coach Reese, thank you.
Thanks, Jake.
Getting a look right now at some of the, I think they're doing senior night for the Lyman cheerleaders at the moment. And they're not doing that for the players, though. This was originally senior night for Lyman.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to Coach Hansen on Tuesday. The rivalry game being senior night, he hated that because
really?
A lot of times players don't play their best on senior night, this or that.
All right.
And with the importance of tonight's game, you needed players playing your best. And there was a little bit of a shooting lull we saw with the girls today. But at the end, they were right in it and really did come down to one play this way or that way. Even after the free throws, that rebound by Kylie Dellinger was what sealed it. And that's my Dr. McKay Franklin precision play of the game for that was that final rebound by Kylie Dellinger.
I would agree with that. I think there was a lot of good plays throughout, but that definitely did seal it.
And then on the Lyman side, my Dr. McKay Franklin precision play of the game went to young Caroline Bradshaw. 4 points in a row to bring her team back. And in it, look, we get on her sometimes for being ahead of herself, but there's no question that freshman is so athletic. That is probably hard not to try to do it all at times. And she got the Lyman Eagles back into that game tonight.
She did. I remembered back to the last game that they played. She came in fire.
Yeah.
Against
two three-pointers in the first half.
Yeah. Some players do good against rivalries, and some just kind of fall apart at the seams. And Caroline is one of those that hopefully for years to come, she'll be able to come in and put up a few points against Mountain View, and they'll be able to have a good game.
It's packed here. There's no other way around it. There's a lot of people in this gymnasium, and we hope next week, maybe for a regional championship, that we might be here for calling because one of these teams could be in it. We hope to see a gym as packed as this, but it's great to see. This is what makes this rivalry so great is the separation between the two means that when they come to play, if anyone wants to go to the game, they can, if they're in the area.
Yeah.
Of course, people that live away, that moved away, that's who's watching us right now. There's very few people in the Valley at home right now. It's people who are at work, and then all the people that we have around the country that come from the Bridger Valley tuning in. And we certainly appreciate you, but we love all the people coming out to this gym because it makes for a great atmosphere for basketball as well.
It does.
So we are sitting at a couple of minutes away from the start of this. The clock has stopped at 1:11 for the, like we said, senior night for the cheerleaders. It was originally scheduled as senior night for the boys and girls, but that will be held tomorrow as the Pinedale game was rescheduled for a Friday contest from last week. And did you know Bryce Hansen played the saxophone?
I did not know that. I was just watching that.
Well, she just changed out of the jersey and into the band clothes. I guess she comes walking by with a visor. She'll join the band for Lyman High School.
Well, good for her. Multi-talented.
Well, I don't often see a mascot with the head off, but Sierra Heaton, I guess senior night. I didn't know she was the mascot all year.
I didn't know that either. We've seen her sing the anthem.
We've seen her play volleyball.
Yeah.
Did not realize that she was also the mascot, but hopefully no children terrified. I was probably 3 years old. My mom decided to be Woodsy the Owl. You ever heard of Woodsy the Owl?
I have
Give
heard.
a hoot, don't pollute. Yeah, that's probably trademarked, but I don't think they'll come after me for saying that.
Don't know.
I was about 3 years old. My mom decided to be Woodsy the Owl for a public library show presentation. I was fine when she had, like what Sierra had right now, the suit on. No head. She put the head on. I lost it. There's no other way. I lost my composure.
Lost it.
I lost my composure. Couldn't handle it. I don't know. And then I hid under the table the rest of the way.
Oh.
After I was so excited for Woodsy. It terrified me.
I'm deeply sorry. I didn't know this scarred you so bad.
Look, it was 28 years ago. I don't know what I was thinking, but that's just what happened.
I don't think you were thinking, Jake.
28 years ago this summer, I suppose. So now we have starting lineups, and those are brought to you by Black's Fork Timber, located in Mountain View. And Mountain View is the road team, so they're announced first. Black jerseys, And white numerals, Braden Walk, the 5'10" senior point guard for Mountain View, is announced first, followed by his two-guard, off-guard, offense and defensive players of the year at the football season. Kimball Matson, he's a 6'2" senior wearing number 4. Ashton Schofield is a 6' junior wearing number 5. Hunter Meeks, a junior as well, 6'3", wears number 23. And in the post, a guy who's really been relied on heavily as of late for some offense, as well as his always defense and rebounding. 6'4" senior. Where's number 10, Brigham Blumel. For Lyman, we mentioned Andrew Housekeeper out tonight. Looks very nice in his suit, but
He looks very nice.
But I'm sure Lyman would love to have him on the court.
Future missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and
Well,
he's looking like it tonight.
He's already got his suit on, that's for sure. That means that the freshman, McCoy Smith, 5'7", transfer in from Ryrie, Idaho. I always say it because I love saying Ryrie.
I'm not going to try.
He gets to start his second in a row in place of Andrew Housekeeper. Jed Dickerson, a 6' junior, wears number 4. Carter Smith, older brother of McCoy, so also of the Ryrie, Idaho, former Ryrie High School, I guess sophomore, all-state football player. He wears number 21. Alex Bradshaw, he's a sophomore, 6'2", wears number 5. And in the post, Preston Brewer, 6'1", 7 feet tall when it comes to measuring the heart of a player. Number 20 and a junior. Brigham Blumel and Preston Brewer tipping off. Talked to Coach Reese after the 13, I guess it would have been about 10 days ago. He said, I'd take Preston on my team in a heartbeat with how hard he works. I don't think there's a coach in the country that couldn't find some way to incorporate his hustle. Mountain View wins the opening tip, and Braden Walk passes over right side to Ashton Schofield, then to the top back to Braden Walk. Look down to the free throw line. Meeks out to the corner, quickly trying to open up. Walk, he steps, Euro into the lane. Floater good. There's not a lot of coaches that wouldn't want Braden Walk on their team in the state of Wyoming either. He's instant offense and probably going against a little bit of box and one, maybe diamond and one with defense throughout this day as well. Coach Luke, as Coach Reese said, I've never faced a straight up defense against Coach Luke. He always tries to do something to get us out of our element. And there you see McCoy Smith playing at that top. He's the box man in this box and one defense against Braden Walk. Schofield to the top of the key, gives it off to Hunter Meeks. Over to the left wing, Madsen takes a 3. It's up, misses short. Schofield on the putback shot, good. Quick left-handed release by Ashton Schofield. So 4-0 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View, the road team, all the way 6 miles away, up early on. Near sideline, Carter Smith for Lyman, going from left to right to Chet Dickerson. Wing 3, rolls out and into the hands of Brigham Blumel. Walk running with it, and there's McCoy Smith. He's sticking right with him, and they're playing that box and one. And how about that? Hey, freshman, your second start. Go stop one of the top scorers in 3A.
That's something I would want to do.
Schofield down low, gets hacked, and he's to the line for 2. I heard about the basketball skills of McCoy Smith going back to the football season when they were talking about the transfer, because Carter, of course, took over quarterbacking duties. That allowed Hagan Lamoureux to go to running back, where he was able to really run wild all year long for Lyman and led to them getting that home playoff game. A great, successful comeback season for Lyman football. And I kept hearing his younger brother, McCoy. Carter's a good basketball player. He's going to be a big varsity player this year, and he has been, especially as the season has continued. Schofield goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and it's 5-0. Into the lane, Preston Brewer gets rejected. Braden Walk with the basketball, racing past his defender. At the elbow, he'll pull back, give it to Meeks. Fake a 3, drive in now. Dribbles it off his foot into the hands of Preston Brewer. He's up ahead, no one in front of him. Layup good, and Lyman's on the board. 2 points for Preston Brewer out of the gates, and it's 5-2 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View with the basketball and the lead early on in the Bridger Valley Motor first period. Those starting lineups again brought to you by Black's Fork Timber, located in Mountain View. Bridger Valley Motor, 780-3280, the number to call if you're ever in need of a lift. That's Glade Erickson's cell phone number, and he offers 24/7 towing by way of Bridger Valley Motor. Pass into the blocks, and Hunter Meeks has it knocked out of his hands. Dickerson throws up ahead to McCoy Smith. He tries to work against Schofield, runs into a wall, and Ashton says, come on. He didn't like that block foul called.
No, he didn't. I think he gave about 3 eye rolls on that one.
5-2 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View leading. Lyman ball down into the blocks. Carter Smith puts up a 2. We loved the effort out of Carter Smith last Friday, I think it was, against Big Piney. Took a couple of charges in the fourth quarter, hit a couple of threes. That junior's come along in this season as well. Schofield drops it in from distance for Mountain View and makes it 8-4 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Schofield, well, that defense has been zoned in on Braden, so Ashton has 6 points in the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Preston Brewer into the lane, layup good. He skied right past the double post presence of Blue Mel and Meeks to get that drop in. 8-6 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View up by 2 over Lyman. Rivalry Thursday night. We've got Mountain View hosting Big Piney tomorrow. Left wing 3, Braden, a little bit long. Schofield put back. Make it 8 points for Ashton Schofield, and an early candidate for the Dr. McKay Franklin Precision Play of the game. They're going to have to change their defense up. Alex Bradshaw open on the corner for 3. Misses a little bit short. Brigham Blue Mel with the ball. He gets the board. And out to the left side and to the free throw line. Mountain View basketball. High dribble by Blue Mel. He picks it up, gives it to the right wing. Rolling back to the free throw line. Down low, high post, still low. Blue Mel back to Braden Walk. He'll dribble through 3 defenders, miss the lay-in, and the rebound by Brewer. He's a full head of steam forward. Behind the back dribble against Blue Mel. Rejection by Blue Mel. Braden Walk quickly across, has Madsen to his left. Loses his handle for a second. 10-6 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Schofield on the right side with a 4-point lead for Mountain View. Comes around the left screen of Meeks, then to the wing. He passes off to Kimball Madsen. Madsen gives it off to Blue Mel at the key. Look over left side. Watt comes out and grabs it. McCoy, he's staying on him. They're tight defending on that box and one defense. I haven't seen him relinquish off of it throughout. Out to the right side and a wing 3 by Kimball Madsen. I think at this point you've got to say, if you're Lyman, this Mountain View team's come out for blood. They're scoring without trying to force it into Braden.
Oh, yeah.
Jet Dickerson takes a deep 3 and misses a little bit long. Maybe a hasty shot and decision there. 13-6, Mountain View up by 7. Top of the key. Meeks fakes a 3. Smith pokes in at the ball, forces the pickup of the dribble. Watt comes around a left screen. Working to his right, behind the back dribble to the left, then to Blue Mel. Ooh, exaggerated step there as his passing mate went away. A travel called. He drugged that pivot foot on the right side.
Did. You could tell he was trying to stop, but it was too late by then.
You know, it's too bad for these guys. I feel bad for these guys when they get that call because I haven't played competitive basketball in years. I play pickup ball, and if you're at a church playing that, you know, oh, no, it's okay. I didn't move. I almost did.
Yeah.
And no one will call on you, but they got referees keeping you honest. I would have been called for that about 100 times in the last 10 years if I'd played around a referee. Lyman basketball on the right wing. Braxton Bradshaw and Jesse Fannis make the first subs appearances of the day for Lyman. Luke Branson in as well. 3 ball by Dickerson. Airs ball high up off the bounce. Brecken Barnes in as well. Gets the board but throws it away looking for Blue Mel. Last touch by someone on Lyman. Missed that play. 2:51 left in the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter and a 7-point advantage. Caden Sweep comes in for Mountain View up by 7 over Lyman. Hunter Meeks is out. Braden Walk looking a little gassed as he comes out. He's been running all around trying to shake that defense, and it looks like they're going up to a straight up and down. Well, maybe Fannis will hang on, and we'll see. Fannis guarding tightly on Braden, but are they in man? That's a rarity for Lyman. Missed shot in the lane, and it's Lyman basketball, 13-6 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. They're running 1. Jet Dickerson goes from the left to the right. I have no idea what 1 is, but they're running it. Down low into the lane. Brewer rejected again, the second block of the quarter for Brigham Blue Mel. Branson on the run, tosses off left side. Caden Sweep avoids the rejection of Brewer and converts his first 2 of the game. 15-6. This is a runaway early and a timeout taken by Coach Luke, who shakes his head and turns around after giving the signal to the referee. This is the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter, a 9-point lead for Mountain View over Lyman. Back in 30 seconds on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on KNYN and MyLocalRadio.com.
A common thread no matter where you live in Wyoming is that if you're heading somewhere, it's probably going to be a while until you get there. A lot can go wrong on these long road trips across this great state. And if you ever find yourself broke down on the side of the road, it's time to call Glade Erickson at Bridger Valley Motor to come pick you up day or night. Bridger Valley Motor offers 24-hour towing services. If you need a tow, you need to call Glade on his cell phone at 307-780-3280. Bridger Valley Motor is here to pick you up if your lift ever lets you down. 307-780-3280.
Interesting fact brought to light out of the break. They're shooting, Lyman shooting a little different from outside the arc and inside the arc, Kate.
Oh, yeah, they've taken 7 shots altogether. They made all 3 inside the arc and missed all 4 outside. I think that tells you where you need to go.
Maybe look back inside. Braxton Bradshaw with the basketball. Dribbling near the jump circle. 2 minutes to go left in the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Lyman down by 9 points to Mountain View. Smith into the lane. Well, now they missed from inside the arc, but a close attempt for the freshman. Behind the back dribble of Walk. And they're still running that box in on Braden. So that's still the case. They've been running that all contest long, and Mountain View has really just lit it up offensively. They've got the 4-on-4, the defense being in a zone, going from side to side. They found their open shooters from the outside. Braden Walk gives it off to Sweep. It's Jesse Fannis being forced to run around and try to keep up with Walk. He gets the basketball. Walk does. 15-9 deep three to make it more. No. Misses off to the outside, far sideline and out of bounds. Caden Sweep trying to chase it down. 15-6 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Lyman down by 9 to Mountain View. And we mentioned Lyman's pretty much locked into the number 3 seed. Mountain View, you're most likely going to be that 1, but they need a win either tonight or tomorrow or a loss by Big Piney.
Yeah.
And Big Piney, we don't have any coverage of that game today because I don't think SVI is carrying it to my knowledge. No. But definitely a favorite over Pinedale, so you're going to have to get them tomorrow if you were to drop this game. But Mountain View looking in good shape so far. Jed Dickerson takes a skip pass, goes out to the right corner, then another skip over the head of Smith. McCoy just wrangles it in, giving up a few inches to his defender there, and Luke Branson out to the right side. Dickerson quick to the corner. Bradshaw bounce to Dickerson, back to Bradshaw. He'll take a 3. Braxton's up, misses. And they say it was all legal. Braxton went tripping down to the ground, but given enough room to land, just kind of landed into his defender was the ref call. In transition, a Braden Walk floating shot, good. Makes it 17-6 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. 4 points for Walk going against that box defense. So far, he got his first shot in the half-court offense, that one in transition, and that's going to be his only chance to avoid having that defender face guarding him. A name you'll remember, but at this point, we're like 5 years removed from this. She transferred, and she's playing Division I basketball somewhere in Texas now. But Katie Mayhew put on one of the most impressive box-and-one defensive shows I've ever seen in a state semifinal game against Robbie Ryan, a game that Natrona County ended up winning. And that's my benchmark. She was guarding her straight out of the inbound. There was at no point, nowhere Robbie Ryan could be that Katie Mayhew was not. Roll off the feet of Preston Brewer, but it touched someone on Mountain View, they say, so it stays with Lyman. Walk getting a little bit more space than that. He's got transition. That was not the case on that night in a game that was over-officiated, I have to mention as well. I'd say probably a pretty chippy game, but something like 40-some fouls. Wow. It felt like everyone was fouling out in that contest. 17-6, Mountain View drives in by way of Luke Branson at the end of the quarter, and a missed layup. 17-6, Mountain View leads up by 11 over Lyman on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. This is a First Bank presentation of the Bridger Valley Battle on MyLocalRadio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM.
Folks have many reasons to visit Casper, Wyoming every year, whether it's work, high school sports and activities, a romantic getaway, or business meetings. The best place to stay when you're in Casper is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. A beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, a pool, fitness center, and a fabulous indoor atrium. You can also reserve meeting rooms for your next event, and each stay includes an extended continental breakfast. Reserve your rooms today at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. Call 307-472-6300.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors. people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Reese Auto Service bringing you the second quarter here at Lyman High School, and Lyman basketball against their inter-valley, inter-county rival, Mountain View. Down by 11, though. Carter Smith at the top of the key. Out to the right side, passes to Bradshaw. He was held scoreless in the last game 13 days ago. Was held scoreless in the first quarter, and that's certainly been a key for Mountain View. They shut down Bradshaw last time they played, and so far he's gotten just one shot and missed it. He hits it at the top of the key, thinks about a three, passes back to Brewer from beyond the arc. Oh, missed passing lanes. McCoy Smith picks up the mess. Bradshaw's open on the corner, gets it up and in. Well, he's not going to be held scoreless for the season series. That's the first bucket of the Bridger Valley battle for Alex Bradshaw of the year.
First three-pointer of the day for Lyman.
For Lyman as well. Brigham Blumell down low. Draws the foul against Carter Smith, and the shot counts. And one. 19-9 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Talked about all that box and one defense. McCoy Smith and Jesse Fannis employing that against Braden Walk. Well, they may need to get a little engine repair done on their motor after that game chasing around Braden. And if you do, go on down to Reese Auto Service, sponsor of the second quarter.
Does it work the same?
I think so. They said any engine or motors, large or small, Reese is there for you. So, hey, Doug, I had to chase Braden, your quarterback, all around the court. I need a motor replacement.
I think he might just give you a Mountain Dew and say, buck up, kid.
Hey, Mountain Dew can work in certain cases. Timeout taken on the court, 19-9 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. 1 minute into the Reese Auto Service second quarter. This is a First Bank presentation of the Bridger Valley Battle on MyLocalRadio.com.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
Bridger Valley Motor, first quarter. Now the Reese Auto Service second. Three ball in for Kimball Madsen. That's his second of the game already. Kimball having a good offensive day so far. Efficient. I think he's 2 for 2.
3 of 2.
Huh?
3 of 2.
2 of 3?
Yeah.
He's made more than he took. 22-9 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View basketball with a big lead. This is certainly not going the way of Lyman today, but you cannot underestimate what Andrew Housekeeper means on all facets of the court for this Lyman team, and they're in a 5-game losing streak as well. They played almost all those games close. Really, the blowout in the second half was Mountain View. Jump stop and a step in the lane. Walk misses. Rebound picked up by Jet Dickerson. And they got to be a little down in the dumps with all those close games they played and lost. Bradshaw misses a short corner shot. Rebounded by Brigham Blumell. Walk taking it across for Mountain View, going from right to left. 6:12 left in the Reese Auto Service second period. Madsen takes the pass, tiptoes the sideline, tosses over to the right wing. Schofield back cut, lofted up, and the alley-oop to Kimball Madsen. That was an old give and go from one side of the court to the other. You're just smiling in silence after that play.
That was a pretty play.
That was beautiful. Bradshaw on the left wing, back to Jet Dickerson, 24-9 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Carter Smith tosses to Bradshaw. Schofield comes out to guard him, so they swing it back right around to the wing. Bounce pass to Dickerson, then to the corner. Bradshaw drives past the defense, overshoots. Brewer times it just right, but the putback no good. Brigham Blumell on the shot, on the rebound up, gives it ahead to Walk. McCoy back to the top of the defense. Classic old box and one still being employed, and McCoy, he doesn't get a break, not until Brigham comes back out in the court. Run around and chase Braden around the court. 5:14 left, looking to the lane. Hunter Meeks had it, but then it's taken away by Brewer. I think that's his third steal of the day. Rejected by Madsen in the air. It's one-on-one in transition. Walk versus Dickerson. Floater is no good. Put back by Blumell in the air. 26-9. Blumell following the shot of Walk there. And a toss out of bounds intended for McCoy Smith out on the baseline. back to Mountain View. Reese Auto Service bringing you second period action, and another timeout taken by Lyman. 4:51 left in the first half, and Lyman still in single digits, 26-9 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. This is the Bridger Valley Battle presented by First Bank.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
Buying or selling is a simple process if you're working with the right real estate agent. This is Bobby Dalzall, broker with Big Country Properties. We have agents serving both Lincoln and Uintah counties that can assist you with all of your real estate needs. We are the top listing and selling brokerage in the Bridger Valley and strive to be honest, hardworking, and thorough. Whether buying or selling, we make it happen. Call us today at Big Country Properties, 307-782-3556.
26-9 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Reese Auto Service second period. Mountain View already out onto the court. And here comes Lyman. They were so ready to go, I kind of didn't realize that Lyman hadn't come out of the huddle yet. Clock resumes. 4:50 left in the first half and a 17-point lead for Mountain View. Schofield to the top. Blumel looks around. Left side. Three ball by Walk. Misses long. Smith with the rebound for Lyman. That's McCoy Smith. Carter Smith joining him out on the court, along with Jet Dickerson, Alex Bradshaw, and Preston Brewer. Smith trying to go to work against Schofield, and he's called for his second. Blocks in with the baseline inbound. Tosses to Bradshaw, then back to Smith. Left wing, Bradshaw takes a deep three, a little bit short. Hardware board. Full court pressure employed. Toss across, Mountain View has it across the timeline. Blumel to the sideline. It's up and just short on the shot by Luke Branson from distance. Rebounded by Alex Bradshaw. Brewer up ahead, pushing the tempo. Pass back to Carter Smith. He hits the layup as he also hits the deck. Well, Lyman has scored in double digits now. They have 11 points and 4 by way of Carter Smith. He's the leading scorer along with Preston Brewer in the game. Braden Walk looks off, hands off to Blumel. Powers into the basket. Hoop and the harm. Blumel with the and one. That's his second and one opportunity, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
He missed his first free throw. I have him missing his first free throw.
He did miss his first free throw.
So what I'm asking is, am I on track here?
You are.
All right. So 4 points for Blumel. And misses his second and one opportunity as well. The foul against Jet Dickerson was his first. Lyman basketball. Bradshaw on the baseline. Rolls it out of bounds. Touched and grazed out off of Mountain View. Looked like Luke Branson got a hand on it. 3:36 left in the second quarter, brought to you by Reese Auto Service. Far sideline inbound. McCoy Smith giving up a few inches to the defender there. Luke Branson works right around on a bounce pass out to Jet Dickerson. Then to Preston Brewer on the left wing. 3:30 left. Wing to wing pass. Dickerson has it. Looks over to the right side. It's Alex Bradshaw with the basketball. Pop up to the top and hand it off to McCoy Smith. Then left side to Dickerson. He's standing on the wing, gets a double screen around, roll down by Bradshaw. The shot up by Dickerson, no good, and rebounded by Kimball Madsen. On the run, far sideline from right to left. Stutter step by Walk, gives it to Meeks, left corner to Branson. He'll work around to the free throw line, loses his dribble, picks it back up, works it through the legs, then back to the top of the key where Blumel gives it off right corner to Walk. Screens for him, then rolls down. Walk to Meeks, now down low to Blumel, spins around the defense, misses. Shot rolls out of the hoop. Back to Lyman. Bradshaw driving in, baseline, reject 8-11. Hunter Meeks never did meet a foul that he liked.
No.
He's one of those guys that he'll let the referee or at least his teammates hear it after every single call. Nope, not me. Not me.
He's the kind of dude you get in church ball that, nah, it wasn't me, bro.
Nope. First free throw made. Alex Bradshaw has 4 points in the game, and he misses his second free throw. Meeks comes away with the free throw. Up ahead to Luke Branson. Waits for Meeks to cross the timeline, give it back to him. Top of the key three. No, off to the right, just a hair almost dropped right down. 28-12, Mountain View over Lyman on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Reese Auto Service bringing you second period action. Located in Lyman, Wyoming. Give Reese a call at 747-6450. Brewer back to Braxton Bradshaw. Shot looked like it was grazed just a hair by Meeks. Not sure, though. Walk, working it forward. Dribbles past Bradshaw, floats it up, misses long again. Braxton on the rebound for Lyman. 2 minutes left, 2:04 to be specific. And a roll pass back to Jet Dickerson. He'll call out the play. He's running point in lieu of Andrew Housekeeper, who's out for a second week with a concussion. Was hit his head hard on the ground 13 days ago at Mountain View in this rivalry contest. That was in the third quarter, and momentum really shifted at that point. Brewer has it on the left corner, gives it to the wing. Dickerson back to to Stockton Walker, rather. And it's a foul on Luke Branson. Push foul on Branson. The fifth team foul for Mountain View, second on Luke. Brigham Blumel checks in for Branson, trying to keep him from getting a third foul called. Brecken Barnes into the game along with Kimball Matson, Braden Walk, Blumel, and Meeks. Walker has the basketball, gives off to Braxton Bradshaw, joined by Alex Bradshaw, Jet Dickerson, and Preston Brewer for Lyman. Moves to his left, tries to get a step on Blumel. Pass out right side. Dickerson misses the three ball. Blumel to Walk on the rebound. Up ahead, 1:20 left. And out to the right wing, Kimball Matson to the elbow. Turn around at the free throw, back to Matson. He's made 2 threes in this quarter already. And he'll give it back. Bounce pass, a weak one. Back to Braden Walk. Dribble through the legs. Skip pass out right corner to Matson. Top of the key, Matson fakes a three, gives it to Meeks. He'll think about a three, give it to Blumel at the free throw line. Three ball faked, free throw line shot missed long by Matson. Blumel with the board though. Out to the left, stutter step behind the back dribble by Walk. And with 42 seconds left in the Reese Auto Service second period, Mountain View with a chance to reset here. Kimball Matson has the basketball. Gives it to Blumel at the top, looking down low. Barnes turns around against Dickerson and converts. Long possession there, and that's Brecken Barnes' first points of the day. 30-12 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View over Lyman. Stockton Walker with the basketball, hands off to Braxton Bradshaw. Down to 12 seconds left. Off to Alex on the left wing, hand off to Jet Dickerson. Down to the corner, Bradshaw drives in. Defense collapses, he misses short on the lay-in. Kimball Matson comes up lame. Looks like he rolled his ankle. And that's the hope for everyone on the Mountain View side, that it's as simple as that. He comes out of the game, replaced by Luke Branson for the final 1.8 seconds. Well, no, not sure what Matson has going on. You just hope it's an ankle roll 1 week before regionals.
Yeah. And
the first half ends 30-14 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View over Lyman. Halftime coverage coming up in just a bit. This is the First Bank presentation of the Bridger Valley Battle on KNYN 99.1 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires and offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
And video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we know our members by name and we love working with them face-to-face. But did you know that members can also handle almost all banking online? Everything from managing your accounts and paying bills to applying for all types of loans. It's simple and we're happy to help you get started. Join Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today. We're a caring partner dedicated to your financial success. TronaValley.com, member NCUA.
When do you schedule doctor appointments?
In bed before I fall asleep. In the car waiting to pick up my kids.
We can even do it after breakfast.
We all lead busy lives. Online appointment scheduling puts you in contact. You're scheduled for care. Schedule appointments for next day and beyond at evanstonanytime.com.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
Back here at the half, 30-14 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Look, we got more dancers, some 80s stuff going on. I don't know what else. 80s garb. I always saw that around Salt Lake when people would be going out on the clubs. They'd have 80s night, and pretty much everyone was dressed like that. I don't believe everyone actually dressed like that in the 80s, but it is the stereotype.
I wasn't born. You were. Let me know.
Get back to me. I don't know. I have no idea. A nice little handstand there from the side. I couldn't do that now, I'll tell you that.
You know, I had a dance class this afternoon, and we had to try to do that, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I tried. I failed. Landed on my face. That little girl did it good, though.
That was pretty good. At the half, 6 points for Preston Brewer, 4 for Carter Smith, 4 for Alex Bradshaw. I get that out of the way because that offense for Lyman pretty easy to add up. It's been a rough go of it for them. On the Mountain View side, 8 points by Kimball Madsen, 4 by Braden Walk. Ashton Schofield has 8 in the game, and then Brigham Blue Mel with 4. 2 points by Brecken Barnes, 2 by Caden Sweep. I would imagine we've got some differentials on the stats that you have as well, probably in favor of Mountain View.
I would say so, yeah. Starting with Mountain View, they're sitting at 48% from the field, whereas Lyman is sitting at 32%. Mountain View is sitting at 53% from 2, 38% from 3, 25% from the line. Lyman, they're sitting at 56% from 2, 10% from 3, 50% from the line. As far as rebounds go, I have Mountain View with 20 rebounds, only 4 turnovers, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. Lyman, they're sitting at 11 rebounds. At the end of the first, they only had like 4 rebounds. They've definitely bumped that up. They've started to play more aggressive and get more rebounds. They have 4 turnovers, 2 steals, and 0 blocks.
You said 20% from the line for Mountain View. That means they're 1 of 5, and it's been a rough go of it at the free throw line. I've actually got them 1 of 4. You said 25%, didn't you? Yes. So they're 1 of 4, not 1 of 5. It's dancing night here. This is that's like the 4th routine we've seen at the halftime. I guess you got to get it all out. This was supposed to be the final home game. They do get 1 more.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see because usually, you know, a lot of places they'll have the high school dance team that comes out and does this. You get a wider range at these home games between Mountain View and Lyman. It's going to be a different troop, a different club every single time out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think when you have a smaller school like this, it makes these little girls try harder, and they get to perform in a varsity basketball game.
It's packed. You want to be, I think some of the girls are relishing in the packed house, and some probably would have liked to be here for the Pinedale game tomorrow. I don't know if Saturday basketball, winless team, probably not going to be quite the same crowd as a rivalry night. 16-point differential, though, and down by 16 points. For Lyman, they are missing their senior point guard, but also that box and win defense has been completely inefficient today because what beats a box and one? Why don't you run it in the pros? Because if other guys are hitting their shots, then it's not going to do too much.
Exactly, and that's where Lyman's sitting right now. Mountain View, how many of their players have scored? 1, 2, 3, 4,
I got
5, 6?
2, 4. I've got 6 players who have scored, and particularly on the wing, Kimball Madsen and Ashton Schofield have hit it from distance. Blue Mel's got a couple of shots inside. Brecken Barnes worked down low, but really it's looking to get shots from the outside to spread out that defense because you've got 4 guys playing in that little diamond or a square zone, whichever one you're in, and it's going to be passing from side to side. We've seen a lot of skips and guys getting open. And if they can fire and deliver from the corner of the wing, it's gonna balloon up in a hurry.
Well, I love the patience that Mountain View is showing. They'll wait for their shot, and they'll wait till it's a good shot. Whereas Lyman, you have players that are taking threes that are pretty hasty.
Well, what is the 3-point percentage?
The 3-point percentage is 10%.
Yeah,
They've
so
hit one of 10.
Yeah, and that one 3-pointer comes by way of Alex Bradshaw. And what's he, 1 of 3?
One of 3. Jet is 0 out of, he's taken 5.
0 of 5, yeah.
Yep. And
Carter's taken 1 maybe?
Carter hasn't taken any. Braxton Bradshaw is 0 of 2.
Yeah, well, a couple of shots one way or another. We saw a big fourth quarter out of Lyman last Friday.
Yep.
They're certainly looking for that when we come back. 3 minutes, 2.5 actually until the start of the third quarter. Mountain View on top of Lyman on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board, 30-14 on a First Bank presentation of the battle at Bridger Valley on MyLocalRadio.com.
A common thread no matter where you live in Wyoming is that if you're heading somewhere, it's probably going to be a while until you get there. A lot can go wrong on these long road trips across this great state. And if you ever find yourself broke down on the side of the road, it's time to call Glade Erickson at Bridger Valley Motor to come pick you up day or night. Bridger Valley Motor offers 24-hour 780-3280.
Sometimes getting the whole family scheduled for a dental appointment is hard. Different days, different times, and then how do you pay for it all? These problems have been solved by Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View because we serve patients of all ages. It's easy to schedule the whole family on the same day, so you just make one trip. We accept most insurances, and if you don't have insurance, we offer an in-house discount so the whole family can have a healthy smile. Don't wait. Call today. Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View, 307-782-3630.
Buying or selling is a simple process if you're working with the right real estate agent. This is Bobby Dalzall, broker with Big Country Properties. We have agents serving both Lincoln and Uinta counties that can assist you with all of your real estate needs. We are the top listing and selling brokerage in the Bridger Valley and strive to be honest, hardworking, and thorough. Whether buying or selling, we make it happen. Call us today at Big Country Properties, 307-782-3556.
Whatever you need, it's likely that Bradshaw's and Lyman can help. Whether it's windows at home or new glass in your car, truck, SUV, or semi, Bradshaw's has it. Tires? Yes. All vehicles, ATVs, semis, and more. Bradshaw's offers a 24-hour towing service for everything large to small. And the Bradshaw Fitness Center is open 24/7. There's more, so always call Bradshaw's first. Whatever you need, it's likely they can help. 307-787-3450. Again, that's 307-787-3450.
About 60 miles to the east of its rivalry night in Sweetwater County, and I'm getting a tip from the birthday boy, Braden Flack, out of Sweetwater now. Not much of a contest tonight. Green River on the girls' side, running away with the victory in that one. See if I can get a final score on that, but sounds like Green River well on their way to that region title.
They're a good team.
Yeah, they're my favorite in the 4A on the west side, and they're right there with some of the best on the girls. Out of the break now, third quarter action. Braden Walks gets his offense immediately, and he's been facing that box and one throughout the contest. Makes it an 18-point advantage for Mountain View. 6 points in the game for Braden. Left side, corner three by Bradshaw misses, and Blue Mel with the rebound. If you're just tuning in, you missed a great girls game, but the boys game starting underway in the second half, and Kimball Matson, his third triple of the day. He's got 11 points, close to one of the higher games of offensive output for Kimball this season. Corner, a left wing three rather for Bradshaw, misses. Brewer comes away with the rebound for Lyman. Dickerson drives in, dish out right side, corner three up and over. Shot by McCoy Smith. Schofield away with the board for Mountain View. Hunter Meeks with the basketball. Let's look back, see, and yeah, looks like they're still running that box and one there. And Mountain View continues to have guys hit shots. Now at a 21-point lead. Walk tries a wing three, it's up, rattles out. Rebound by Bradshaw. Lyman's getting their looks, and I have no qualms about either one of their first two looks. They just have not fallen.
Yeah.
Mid-range shot by Brewer. A left-handed push-up is good. It's 8 points for Preston. Leads the way for Lyman. 35-16 Mountain View over the Eagles. Regionals right here next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll have all four of the teams you saw today in action. Drop step in. That's a beautiful post play by Brigham Blue Mel.
Oh, yeah.
Love the old school drop step. Blue Mel, 6 points. 37-16. Smith, a no-look Euro step. Oh, had everything but the finish there, and a push-off loose ball foul against Lyman. See if we got a final here on that. About 15 or 20, he says. So can he's got a decent excuse, I guess. He was focused on it was Make-A-Wish night in Green River. He was focused on that content. Forgot the final. Turnover on Mountain View side. Walk throws it right side to Schofield. He tries to palm it in the air. Can't quite do that. Lyman basketball. Down by 21 points on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Out to the right side, McCoy Smith to Jet Dickerson. Skips it left side on the wing to Alex Bradshaw. To the free throw line, Carter Smith fakes the pass to the elbow, drives in against Meeks, and oh man, Meeks spun around in anticipation of the rebound, and Carter drove right into him and drew the foul.
That's the kind of play you love to see from a big guy like that, that instantly they're turning around to get the rebound.
To get the board. They're great at following their shots. Mountain View, a very solid rebounding team. Throw out of bounds on the extra possession by Lyman, so it's back to Mountain View, 37-16. Been rivalry night. We appreciate Dakota Largent running camera for us all season long out of Mountain View. And Owen Jensen, formerly of Mountain View, now of Lyman High School. He's been running camera today. He'll be back with us tomorrow. Had to pull out late on that one and get well soon, Owen. Out to the corner. 3-ball dropped in by Schofield. Barely grazed the net as it dropped through.
It's a pretty shot.
And his second 3-ball, he's also got 11 in the game. 40-16 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Oh, in the lane and a shot up and in. Schofield comes up a little bit lame. Bradshaw with the and one.
I like that play by Alex. He went to go drive around the rest of the key, and he saw that wide open lane. It's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to backtrack, and I'm going to go up.
He's an opportunistic scorer. Just a sophomore. He's up to 6 points in the game. Averaging about 12.5 per on the season. Had that week and a half, two and a half weeks where he was averaging about 25 per game. 40-18 after the missed and one by Bradshaw. Mountain View basketball. Luke Branson has it, stops at the free throw line, gives back to Caden Sweep. To Braden Walk, working against McCoy Smith, gets a screen, roll down by Sweep. There's a double team on him. Look down low, out to the right wing. Kimball Madsen thinks about a three. Instead turns around, guarded by Bradshaw. Bounce pass, taken away by Jet Dickerson. 2-on-1. Bradshaw bounces off to Brewer. Skies up, misses the layup, and Blumel comes in from behind and comes away with the rebound. Throw up, down to the left corner. Braden Walk with the basketball. Goes behind the back and draws a foul, it looks like, against Jet Dickerson. 40-18 the score on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. 13 days ago, we could never have seen a game like this happening, but once Andrew Housekeeper went out, then right now, Lyman's a bit of a team in a holding pattern because they work well as a team. They've got good players on the court, but it's just not their main unit. Everyone's. It means Jet Dickerson has to go off the ball to playing point guard. McCoy goes from a spark off the bench to playing starting off guard. We've got a foul down on the Mountain View side. I don't think the shot counts. It's against Jet Dickerson, and that's his third, and it is 2 shots. No bucket on that play. And then Carter Smith, he has to pick up a little more of that defense and rebounding where he would maybe be playing opposite of Andrew. It's just everyone's in a different role right now for Mountain View, and they're already losers of 5 straight of heartbreaker after heartbreaker. They scored 84 points in a varsity game and lost. Wing 3, missed by Walk, rebounded by Dickerson. 41-18 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Right side 3-ball.
Yes.
To make it 41-18 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View up big. Foul on McCoy Smith. Coming in against Braden Walk right at the jump circle. Welcome back here. We had to go off air briefly. I've been dealing with some spotty stuff. We're dropping a few frames again today. I was talking to the AD coach, Hansen. He said they're redoing some internet stuff, so the internet's been a little in and out all day. So I just lowered some resolution, hoping that that's going to save some things. And we've got a big camera problem here as we are really, really off kilter here. And I think it's because of a loose leg. There we go. See if we can balance that out just a little bit.
That looks better, yep.
Yeah, I got a tripod that's actually losing its ability to stick, so sometimes that leg will start dropping. So I saw that, yeah, that's the problem. 41-18 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Playing that one-man band act again, trying to call the game while getting the stream back on, trying to fix the camera and its tripod issues. It's a classic night at my local radio, huh?
Yeah.
3:17 left in the third quarter and a foul push against McCoy from behind. Just to be clear, that was not camera operator error. That is tripod error. I'm going to have to get duct tape for that left leg. It is just getting loose as all get out. McCoy Smith at the free throw line. 41-18 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View on top. Ashton Schofield to check in after this first free throw by McCoy Smith drops in.
That was Luke's fourth.
Well, Branson comes out, and Ashton was going to come in, but instead Brigham Blumel and Braden Walk step back out onto the court. No. Brecken was ready to come out. No, it was just one in for a player out. Blumel comes in for Branson. And Branson picked up 2 fouls in the first half. And he had to come in late. Or maybe, did he pick up 3 in the first half, I think? Either way, he had to come in late when Kimball Matson came off with the lame ankle. He's back in now, so it looks like it was just a turn.
Yeah.
And he should be all right. Going from left to right, 41-20 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. A 2-2 trip from the line by McCoy Smith. Wing 3 dropped in by Walk. He's been smothered defensively all day, but still a decent offensive output considering he's got 9 points in the game. Dickerson to McCoy Smith going from right to left here. Preston Brewer stops and shot waved off. Foul down on the ground as he was heading up. Foul against Kimball Madsen.
What is that on him?
I think that's just his first.
All right.
44-20 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Alex Bradshaw gives to Jesse Fannis, rather. 2:42 left in the third period. Out to the right side. Dickerson open, fires from 3, misses. Still looking for his first shot from distance to go on the day. Braden Walk takes the rebound from Meeks up ahead on the right wing. Goes some fancy dribble work into the lane. Jump stop, shot up, no good. Rebound by Blumel and the putback. Brigham Blumel makes it 46-20 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. 2:23 left in the third period. Mountain View up by 26 and needing one win to secure the #1 spot at regionals next week. This is a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on mylocalradio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM.
Sometimes getting the whole family scheduled for a dental appointment is hard. Different days, different times, and then how do you pay for it all? These problems have been solved by Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View because we serve patients of all ages. It's easy to schedule the whole family on the same day, so you just make one trip. We accept most insurances, and if you don't have insurance, we offer an in-house discount so the whole family can have a healthy smile. Don't wait. Call today. Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View, 307-782-3630.
30-second timeout taken, and it's 46-20 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View on top of Lyman here at Lyman High School. Final weekend of the regular season. Both these teams conclude with home games tomorrow. Lyman is against Pinedale, and Mountain View closes out against Big Piney. McCoy Smith draws a foul on the sideline, trying to avoid tiptoeing out of bounds. That first foul on Braden Walk. Bounce pass to Alex Bradshaw. Toss over to the right wing. Jet Dickerson to the corner. Fannis back to Bradshaw. Opens up Dickerson. He goes to the corner. McCoy Smith fires from 3. Misses long. Rebound. Blumel up into the air. McCoy Smith tries to save it. He's got good hops, but just stepped out on the baseline. 46-20 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Braden Walk to Madsen. Then to Caden Sweet. Back to Madsen, still behind the timeline. 1:50 left in the third period. We'll have the Big Country Properties fourth quarter coming up after this. Madsen at the top of the key to the free throw line. Jump stop by Meeks, then down low to Blumel, hoop in the arm. He's back to the line for his third chance to convert on a three-point play. Running out of space for Blumel out on this third quarter. He's got 7 points, 1 and 2 from the free throw line, 3 field goals. At the stripe today so far, Blumel 1 of 4. And make it 1 of 5. Madsen with the rebound, though, fouled and headed right back to where Blumel just stood.
Oh.
141. Oops.
Yep.
What happened?
Oh, I just hit the wrong number, so I had to backtrack.
Free throw by Madsen, misses. Kimball with an 11-point game. 11 for him, 11 for Ashton Schofield, 9 by Walk, and then Blumel with 11 as well. And then 2 contributors of a field goal each by Brecken Barnes and Caden Sweep off the bench. Today we've seen Mountain View go 8 deep, and we may see them get a little bit deeper as we go into the Big Country Properties fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I wrote everyone down today. I think last rivalry game I looked when they cleared out the bench and said, uh-oh, I forgot to fill in the bench there. 49-20 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Lyman down by almost 30 points. Carter Smith in the lane, tosses up a shot from the right blocks. Hunter Gross, so make it 9 deep now, gets his first appearance and the rebound for Mountain View. Kimball Madsen on the right wing. 1:20 left and a 29-point lead for Mountain View with the basketball. Hunter Gross hands off, then screens for Walk. He'll step back, control the dribble. With his right hand, toss up high to Madsen. Over on the right corner, fires from 3, misses a little short. Gross fighting for the rebound, and it's knocked out of bounds. Carter Smith last to touch it. Far sideline inbound. Crowd starting to thin out just a hair. There's still most people in their seats here, though, at Lyman High School. 1 minute to play in the third period. Kimball Madsen has the basketball, holding on to it at the jump circle. Rather should say dribbling it with his right hand. Bradshaw creeping out, but keeping a distance away from the 5 seconds. Now they come out a little bit closer. Braden Walk takes the handoff. He's guarded by Fanis. Crosses over, right to the left, back to the left. On the wing, turns around, hands off. It's Gross with the basketball. And a close to over and back. Gross just barely got it away. Caden Sweep back to Braden Walk. Beats Brewer off the dribble, lay in from the left side, no good. Gross has butter on his fingers on that play. Had the ball and then it squirted out of his hands. Back to Lyman. Carter Smith hit hard by Barnes, headed to the free throw line. Lyman has 2 free throws up, coming first foul on Brecken. I hate when that play happens as Hunter Gross had it. You have the rebound and then you slap the ball to secure it and squirt, ball goes running away from you. Headed the other way at that. Carter Smith misses his first free throw. We had Dustin Matthews in listening earlier. He's Evanston Red Devil fan, so he used to listen to me all the time. And he says, I turn you on a Thursday, and here you guys are talking about 80s fashion. And I said, Dustin, look, you listen to my games for 4 years. You should know what you're getting. We talked about Woodsy the Owl in the girls' game.
Somehow we did.
Crucial moments in the fourth quarter. We were talking about Woodsy and giving a hoot and not polluting. 7 seconds left. Jet Dickerson on the wing, out to the left side. Bradshaw up for a triple, misses short. Rebound by Madsen. Quarter ends, 49 Mountain View, 20 to Lyman on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. 8 minutes to go, and we'll have the Big Country Properties fourth period when we return on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman basketball on KNYN 99.1 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
An infected tooth can cause discomfort and serious harm to your health. At Wyoming Dental Specialties, endodontist Dr. Leslie Walker understands the complexities removing infected tissues from inside the tooth, which is one reason why you can trust him to provide endodontic treatment and root canal therapy. With a skilled staff and state-of-the-art technology in our office, we help save your smile and improve your overall dental health. Call today to schedule your appointment, 307-789-5608.
No matter what you need to have printed, Westar Printing is the place you want to have it done. Calendars, letterhead, envelopes, brochures, books, posters, vinyl banners, business forms, announcements, wedding invitations, and business cards are just a few examples. You can also have your favorite family photos printed on canvas or placed into a personalized family photo calendar. You will want to do business with Westar Printing. Stop in today. Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston.
49-20 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Welcome into the Big Country Properties fourth quarter, 7823356 or bigcountryproperties.com. That's where you need to go to get a hold of Bobby Dalzall, part of the #1 listing and selling agency in the Bridger Valley. Lyman starts the quarter with the ball and a rejection. Jet Dickerson has the ball knocked out of the air by Caden Sweep and a jump ball called, no, a foul called rather, on number 20. Preston Brewer is the 7th. Single bonus Caden Sweep to the free throw line. Third foul on Preston. Brecken Barnes moves to check in. Caden Sweep with 2 points on the day. This is his first free throw attempt, and it's good. Brecken Barnes replaces Hunter Gross. Up to a 30-point lead for Mountain View over Lyman. Shot number 2 by Sweep is up and in. 51-20 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. This is the biggest blowout we've seen for Lyman since Thunder Basin.
Yeah, probably.
They got about 80 points put up on them, maybe got 40. Top of the key 3 for Brewer. There was one game after that, January 11th, and I can't remember. I think they were playing Buffalo. And that game, it was their second of the day. That was the one game we did for them. It got away from them. No other way to put it. And I think they lost that one by 30-some points as well. But Lyman's been in just about every single game all year long, save for those 3 we just mentioned. Thunder Basin at the Flaming Gorge Invitational, Buffalo at that Pinedale Winter Classic, and now tonight in their final rivalry matchup of the regular season. Ashton Schofield at the free throw line for Mountain View makes his first free throw. And so Lyman will go on to a 6-game losing skid, and they can hope to right the ship against Pinedale tomorrow.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, they started off slow against Pinedale last time with their regular rotation, and they were down by almost 15, 20 points. They scored 80 points in that game as well, won it by 20-some, maybe 30 points running away from it. But they'll need to get their offense going. Mountain View was in for a battle with Pinedale last week. They won by maybe 12, I think it was, at the final. It was close. It was single digits late in the fourth quarter. So can't count anything as a victory here in the Southwest. Left-handed push shot up by Preston Brewer, no good. Ashton Schofield throws up ahead to Branson. He drives the baseline, knocked out of bounds from Jet Dickerson's right hand. 1 minute, 9 seconds into the Big Country Properties fourth period. 52-20 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View up by 32 points. Luke Branson tosses up to Schofield. He'll miss a 3-ball short. It was straight on, and he thought it was good, but hit off the front iron from his vantage point. Out to the right corner for Lyman. High-low look down to Dickerson. One dribble, bounce pass out to the free throw line, then to Carter Smith from Brewer. Go back down low. Dickerson in the post, fading away against Braden Walk. Rolls in and out. Brecken Barnes comes away with the rebound. 1.5 minutes passed in the fourth period. Braden Walk dribbles through his legs and behind the back, trying to shake McCoy Smith. No dice. Schofield on the right corner, walked with it, turned it around, back to Lyman.
Right now, Mountain View is sitting at 48% from the field. They have 37 rebounds. Lyman is sitting at 23% from field goal range with 18 rebounds.
You mentioned you're shooting 48%. What's Lyman shooting in this game, you said?
23%.
Going back to the last time they played 13 days ago, the field goal split was 45-29, so pretty similar tonight. Alex Bradshaw has it. To Dickerson, wing 3, up and in. And you see a little bit of elation from Jet Dickerson as one finally drops in from distance. Was that his 7th attempt?
Yes.
1 for 7 on the day and his first score of any sort. McCoy Smith to Dickerson on a steal. Bradshaw against Blumel. To Brewer on the putback. Bradshaw had to use every inch of his left-handed wingspan to try to avoid the block of Blumel, and Brewer was following the shot there. 52-25 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Barnes in the blocks, misses. Blumel tumbles over McCoy Smith going up for the putback. A foul called, 1-and-1 free throws. Called against McCoy Smith. No, against Brewer. Okay, I was going to say McCoy Smith just got called for a foul for being on the ground in the way. No, it was against Brewer. Fifth foul for Preston Brewer. That's his day. Leading scorer for Lyman. Exits with 10 points in the game. That is, okay, one half. That's, what do we call that? 35% of the offense on the day, 40% of the, I think it's 35% of the offense. I'm not great at math, though.
You're asking the wrong person.
Well, okay, hold up. 40%. There we go, 1/4. Every point is worth 4% at this point. He has 10, 40% of the offense. So,
okay.
Yeah, and a lot of those on putbacks today. Brewer always known for the hustle points there. 54-25 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Left wing. It's Bradshaw to Bradshaw. Right side, McCoy Smith gives off to Dickerson. Deep three taken and missed long. Blue Mel, did he go 1 of 2 or 2 of 2 from the stripe?
He went 2 of 2.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Going to keep my points added up here. Walk throws out left side. Gives it off to Schofield. 5 minutes to go in the Big Country Properties fourth period. Walk open for 3. It's up and good. 57-25 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. A triple dropped in and then a timeout taken by Coach Lewick. A 32-point lead for Mountain View over Lyman on rivalry night on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. This is the Bridger Valley Battle presented by First Bank on KNYN and MyLocalRadio.com.
Buying or selling is a simple process if you're working with the right real estate agent. This is Bobby Dalzall, broker with Big Country Properties. We have agents serving both Lincoln and UNT counties that can assist you with all of your real estate needs. We are the top listing and selling brokerage in the Bridger Valley and strive to be honest, hardworking, and thorough. Whether buying or selling, we make it happen. Call us today at Big Country Properties, 307-782-3556.
We know that when you think of Plains Tire in Evanston, you always think
the Tire Professionals.
Quality customer service.
They're friendly with great prices.
I really like Plains Tire in Evanston.
But did you also know that the team at Plains Tire offers oil changes, windshield wiper checks, and free alignment checks? That's right, free alignment checks. We don't want you to quit thinking all those great things when you hear Plains Tire. We just want you to add to the list. Plains Tire, the tire professionals. Stop in today, 157 Bear River Drive.
Big Country Properties bringing you fourth period action, and it is 57-25. We appreciate everyone tuning in today and sticking around with us in the final 5 minutes of this contest. Tomorrow night we have a 5:30, 7 o'clock doubleheader. Mountain View hosting Big Piney. It's senior night in Mountain View. Also senior night in Lyman. I believe that game will be covered on SVI, so you can check that one out. I believe we have the whole Bridger Valley covered tomorrow. Us and SVI, I suppose. But, hey, you know, we're not discriminating. We appreciate everyone joining us for the ride from both Mountain View and Lyman throughout the season, and we'll see you again at regionals right here at Lyman High School. Carter Smith at the free throw line. First shot is up and in. No other way to put it. Just a rough day for Lyman, a game they're going to have to forget.
Yeah.
They're most likely on the same side of the bracket as Mountain View, though.
Mm-hmm.
That means they get Lander, and if they can get Andrew Housekeeper back, that game was 6s all the way.
Yeah.
It was right there. It's a winnable game.
It is.
Mountain View has Lovell most likely. And so if you can get that one, we could be seeing matchup number 3 of this Friday night. 3 ball in by Braden Walk. Take that defense off, and he starts dropping them in.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a good night, really. He was not selfish with the basketball. When he was guarded, he found the offense. And guys around him hit shots. They moved the ball well. And now he's getting a little time to score and making the most of it. Layup attempt by Carter Smith. No good. Meeks on the rebound. Out far sideline. Oh, Smith goes tumbling down to the ground and comes away with a steal. Tossed it up in the air. Braxton Bradshaw came away with it. 60-27. Dickerson to make it 30 even. He does. Makes him 2 of 10 on the night, I believe, from 3. Or maybe 2 of 9.
2 of 9.
2 of 9. 60-30 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Meeks out to the far sideline. Ashton Schofield. Not Ashton, that's Kimball Matson. Oh, I can't even use the excuse that they have helmets on. This isn't football season.
Nope.
It's 8:16 p.m. Do you know where your brain's at? Nope. Down low, Brigham Blue Mel shoots it. Does the shot count? It may have been on the ground. It doesn't look like it. It's on Carter Smith. What's the signal? I didn't see 1 or 2 shots signaled. Points didn't go up on the board, so it's 2 shots. 4 Blue Mel and a 4th foul by Carter Smith. Blue Mel on the first free throw, misses long. Not a great free throw shooting day for Brigham.
No. sitting at 38% right now.
And that'll be it for him. Well, at least for the other 4 guys. If he can make this, he'll check out as well. Hunter Gross sitting and waiting to check in for the shooter. Caden sweep into the game along with Colton Reutz, Luke Branson, and Brecken Barnes. And Blue Mel should make this one for Hunter Gross, his fellow senior. He does. Gross checks in, and that closes the book on Brigham Blue Mel on the night. Another effective day. We said he struggled from the line, but he got into double digits one more time. His rebounding and defense was tough as well.
Yep.
61-30, Mountain View over Lyman on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Alex Bradshaw takes a screen from Smith. Deep 3, good. Hey, there's that pretty shot. They're going to need a whole lot of that next week, too, because you got to remember, this is not the season. Doesn't matter the seeding you're in. You're not that bad. If you match up with Lander as a number 3 seed, the way they played them last time, I'd have all the confidence in the world that you can go out and pull up an upset on the state champs on opening night of regionals. Barnes goes up, fouled from behind by Bradshaw.
They're going to have to change a few things. I think rebounding is a big one.
Yeah.
That they need to definitely improve. Get more aggressive in going after those boards. You can't have Preston Brewer doing everything in there. Have other guys go in there. Box out their player, if anything, on the wing or wherever they're at.
Yeah, and if Andrew Housekeeper can make his return, that's going to give some. He averages about 5-6 rebounds a game as well. You have 2 guys in there, and the strength. He's 6 foot, and you don't have any size. Talking in the pregame with Coach Lewick, he used to be a slow it down, methodical, you run the play by the book, and we're going to score 50 points in a game sort of guy. But the personnel he has, he says we have to run up tempo. We don't have a big guy. Preston Brewer is a great post as a hustle player, but he's not a traditional post.
No.
They've got to run with it, but you still need to get rebounding where you can. And Andrew Housekeeper offers that with, no, he's not the tallest player, but he is strong and he uses his body well. We saw Jet Dickerson play a lot more in the post on offense as well today. They're trying to get a little bit of scoring in there going, and he wasn't able to. He struggled offensively today, no way around it. But he was willing to go down and try to get some points in the paint as well. 62-33 the score on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Bradshaw at the top of the key, fires from 3, misses off to the right side, and rebound there by Newton. That's Michael Newton into the game. Passes off to Reutz. Bradshaw and him, 2.5 minutes to go. Gross down low to Barnes. He's on the left blocks, uses the glass, and it drops in. 4 points for Brecken Barnes, 64-33 the score. Left side, Dickerson slaps it off the glass, and he's got a layup in as well. Well, 8 points in the fourth quarter for Jet Dickerson. Newton up ahead. 3 ball taken and just missed by Connor Michaeli. Toss up, Reutz tiptoes the half-court line, throws it back to Michaeli, and Mountain View holds on to possession. Under 2 minutes to play. Newton tries to Euro step through and rolls it off the front of the iron for his first 2 points in quite some time. At the very least, I'm not sure he has gotten any offensive points on the year, but we've missed some games, and there were some Bridger Valley tournament games that were kind of runaways. I would imagine he scored in some of those games. Let's take a quick look. We got a break, but we're all caught up. That was his first field goal of the season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so good for him.
Yeah.
It was 0 for 3 from the three-point line, 0 for 1 from 2, 3 for 4 from the free throw stripe.
All right.
So, yeah, no, first field goal of the year for Connor Michaeli. Or for, I said Michaeli. It was Michael Newton, right? What did I write down? Oh, my.
Let me find him here.
Connor Michaeli, yeah.
Okay.
I looked at the right guy. I was going to say, now do I have to go back and look at that? No, Michael Newton actually looking for his first field goal of the season as well.
Okay.
So maybe we could get that in. Hunter Gross hasn't hit a 3 all year. Hasn't taken one.
Well, now's your shot,
Now's your shot, man.
Do it before your career's over as a basketball player.
And then we got Stockton Walker into the game, but also Connor Fields, the senior for Lyman. They'll see if we run a play for him. He's scored. He's perfect from the beyond the arc this year. He scored against Pinedale. Ashton Schofield, the younger brother of Andrew, in. Walker passes to Bradshaw. Let's see if they can get Connor open here to take a shot. Bradshaw, walked with it. He jumped up and hit the ground before he passed away. Yeah, Connor, got the wrong stat sheet, so that's not going to do me too much good to look at that one.
There was a play right before that Housekeeper, Ashton, set a really nice screen. His player kind of bounced back for a second, like what the world's going on?
Ashton's going to be a good player, both in football and basketball. We've seen him play varsity in some context in both of those sports.
3 older brothers were pretty good at sports as well.
Yeah, Connor Fields, 1 of 1 from 3, 1 of 1 from 2. He's perfect on the season, so maybe he doesn't want to mess that one up. I'm sure they'll try to get him another shot probably for senior night if they get the opportunity against Pinedale. But Schofield tries a wing 3, up, misses. Walker battling for the rebound, comes away with it. This is just a side note and one more tangent if Dustin Matthews is still out listening. Braden Bradshaw misses a 3-ball. Why and how does a guy named Stockton Walker, clearly named after old number 12 in this part of the country, end up wearing number 23 for MJ?
You know what? Parents let their child make their own decisions.
They do, except for their name, because that would cause too much confusion. You can't let your child pick your own name, at least not early on in life. You need to call them something other than hey you. Bradshaw out to Brigham Fanis, screens from Fields, turns around right side. Ooh, Walker let it go through his hands. 27 seconds left, 66-35. Mountain View over Lyman. Bradshaw has the ball go through his hands, and it's out of bounds. Braden Bradshaw was an excellent cameraman, I should mention, throughout the football season. He was the guy running camera for me.
Do you mean Braxton?
No, Braden.
Braden?
Number 15 out on the court. Braxton is number 3.
I don't have, right
so,
there.
Yeah.
All right.
He ran camera for me, I want to say, every single game. Now stop questioning my Bradshaws. I know them. Come on now.
That is the housekeeper move right there. Did you see that?
I did not, no.
Oh, all right. Well, Ashton took a charge.
That is the housekeeper move. And just watch your head, I guess you would say. No, Braden Bradshaw ran camera. I think every single Lyman game I did this year at home, Braden was there up on the top of the crow's nest, running camera and doing a fine job at that.
Well, good for him.
He can't do that. He sits varsity, gets some playing time at varsity as well, so I'm not even going to ask. Housekeeper Ashton with the little putback shot after he missed it, and that's the buzzer. 66-37 the final on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View is your number 1 team. Possibly in both the girls and the boys, but definitely for at least the boys. They clinched that one with the win today by 29 points. Thank you to Dakota DeLargent for running camera for us today. We will take a break, come back, hand out Dr. McKay Franklin Precision Plays of the Game on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
You're in good hands when you choose Dr. Stosage and Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties for dental implants and wisdom tooth extractions. They work with passion and focus. They use techniques and technologies that are modern and precise. With 2 decades of experience, their skills are highly specialized. If you need teeth extractions or dental implants placed, come see Dr. Stosage or Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties, 50 Park Road, or call us at 307-789-9034.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Well, good news. Dustin Matthews was still listening, so we got that final one. And then he brought up, remember when we were in Cody, and there was a guy in the court named Hunter Hayes, and you wouldn't shut up about, like, is that the country singer out there? Yes, I do remember that one as well, Dustin, and no apologies. Sometimes you just gotta go off on a good tangent. 66-37, the final score on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Lyman falls at home to Mountain View, and Mountain View on the boys secures the #1 seed at next week's regionals. On the girls' side, the Mountain View girls come away with a last-second win as well. They win that one 37. I didn't write. Was it 40?
Let me pull that one up here.
Maybe. Oh, my goodness. I forgot to write that down. Anyways, they win that one. Have the inside track. They need to defeat
39-37.
39-37. Thank you. And they just need to win tomorrow or have a Pinedale loss. Either way, they're in. They get either one of those things. A Pinedale win over Lyman, or they just need to take care of business against Big Piney, and they're the #1 team from the Southwest. So all Mountain View on Thursday night. Time now for the Dr. McKay Frankham Precision Plays of the game. I'll take Mountain View. You take Lyman.
I'm good with
jump
that.
in on the Mountain View one because we were talking about it over the break, and that boxing one was just thrown at Mountain View from the start and heavy. And Kimball Madsen hits the 3 ball, and okay, you got to watch him. And then on the other side, Ashton Schofield. He did a lot of things tonight, but I loved when he hit that first 3 because it put Lyman on notice that this was not going to be a game where you could just shut down one offensive player. It was a contribution from all sides, and both wings were dangerous tonight. Schofield and Madsen both finished with 11 points, but I give it for that first 3 for Schofield.
Yeah.
That really set the tone and really made that box inefficient tonight.
Well, I have him sitting at 80% from field goal range. So
Ashton, yes.
Ashton. On fire tonight. He was able to contribute to the team that because of that box and one, Braden wasn't able to contribute as much tonight.
Yeah, he got going a little bit late in the second half. He had 9, 11. Finished with 15 points. Got about his season average, just a little bit below, but that's not really true to how that game went. And he did good as well. He could have been a candidate for the way he was handling that play, that box and one. And credit to those guys running around. McCoy Smith and Jesse Fannis did not have an easy night. But for the Lyman side, we had a different Ashton with that recipient.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even realize that. Yes, we do. All right, we got Ashton Housekeeper. He only came in at the end of the game, but he was able to contribute quite a bit. He was able to get that turnover off of a charge. He was able to take that going off of his older brother right there. And then he was able to go down on the other end. He drove in, missed his shot, but he knew where it was going to come, rebounded his own shot, and put it back up for 2.
Adding up the scores right now, Braden Walk, we mentioned, with 15 points. Kimball Madsen with 12, actually, and Ashton Schofield with 12 as well. Both of them got some later free throws to go in. Hunter Meeks does not score in this game, but finishes with just 1 foul. I don't have Hunter Meeks scoring.
No.
It's a rarity, but, hey, I guess it works. He had a solid game.
He did.
Defensively, they're tough inside. That Mountain View team,
tough.
Hunter and Brigham, you don't want to go in that. Brecken into that as well. They're tough to go inside against. Brigham Blumel had 4 points at the half, then 8, 10, 12, 14 in the game for him. So 4 of the 5 starters finished with double-digit scoring in the contest. Luke Branson does not score, but able to come back from missing last week's game against Kemmer with the flu. 4 points for Brecken Barnes, 4 for Caden Sweep, 2 for Connor Michaeli, and that's the totality that I have added in. Lyman, we have 8 points from Jet Dickerson, all in the fourth quarter. 2 by McCoy Smith, 6 from Carter Smith. Alex Bradshaw finishes with 9 in the game, and Preston Brewer fouls out midway through the fourth quarter with 10 points, and then 2 points from Ashton Housekeeper is what I have. That's 20, 29, 35, 37. Yeah, that's all the points there today. So 1 player gets into double digits. 6 players in all score for Lyman. For Mountain View, they finish with 7 players getting on the scoreboard. Well, back tomorrow, 5:30 and 7, about a 5:10 pregame. Big Piney closing out the season at the Cedar Top Dome in Mountain View. We'll have that action for you. Girls at 5:30, boys at 7. The Mountain View boys are the #1 seed. Lyman most likely the #3. Don't know any finals from Big Piney or anything like that, but I think if Big Piney took care of business tonight, then that locks Lyman into the 3 seed. On the girls' side, Lyman drops down to now the #2 seed, not holding a tiebreaker, so magic number for Mountain View is at 1, a win tomorrow, and they're #1 right here next week. And wow, both Mountain View teams at the beginning of the season had high aspirations, were respected around the state, but an accomplishment if they can both come away as the number 1 seeds going into regionals.
Yes, without a doubt.
Work's not done, though. You got to get 2 wins before you can lose, and that's the good news for this Lyman team as well. Now losers of 6 straight, but a better team than that shows. But at the end of the day, well, tonight was a game you throw away. Other than that, late game moments have mattered for them, and that's the one thing. If you can look forward to this Lyman boys team, they've got to play better in those last 2 minutes when they have that lead to hold on to it.
Yeah, well, how does their experience throughout the season of losing these games late, how does that translate to regionals? Are you going to learn from your mistakes and hopefully maybe not get in foul trouble early or make your free throws early?
Yeah.
What are you going to do to
get
a win?
For the Lyman girls, I can't say too much bad about them tonight.
No.
They couldn't get the shots to fall in the first half. That really hurt them. They had a ton of opportunities, and they made it late, made it a close one late, and really came down to an offensive rebound.
Yep.
One here, one there, and that game could have gone either way. So they split their season series, a fun one, and maybe we'll get to see it again. Both these teams hoping it's not an elimination game. Maybe they'd like to see each other in that regional championship, as they will be on opposite sides of the bracket. That's it for us today. For Kate Bollender, I'm Jake Hibbard. Thank you for joining us tonight for the Bridger Valley Battle. We'll join you tomorrow, 5:30 and 7 p.m. Big Piney, hosted by Mountain View.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of Cook Brothers Broadcasting and Old West Media, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the aforementioned rights holder. Tonight's executive producer is Val Cook. We appreciate you tuning in to this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive. We would like to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors and partners who make this all possible. And of course, thank you for tuning in. Check out our website for more information about future Bridger Valley broadcasts, or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the games. Until next time, go Eagles and go Buffs.